fire with a vision, one of a kind. He's the Aussie Overlaw'd. He'll fight for your rights, and he's got his own channel shining bright. From the courtroom to the web, he's got it all. Sharing legal knowledge, answering the call. He breaks it down in a language we all understand. The Aussie Overlaw'd taking a stand. With his Aussie charm and his legal know-how, he's the hero we need, showing us how. He fights for justice, no case too tough. The Aussie Overlaw'd, he's more than enough. Oh, 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 oh,
Yeah, you know what? Fine. Now is not the time.
Say my name.
Good. We'll fall.
Now. Say my name.
Fuck you, Stingy.
You're goddamn right.
Yeah, you know what?
My fellow Americans, I want to take a moment to address some of the hateful shit you've been talking about me. Many of you have said I am suffering from brain worms, or that I have applesauce for brains. Well, I won't mince words, so here it is. Fuck you. You're all a bunch of faggots. End of quote. Repeat the line. So enjoy President Cackles or President Booty Juice? I really don't give two fucks anymore. Biden out. My fellow Americans,
And good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome to today's episode of To Be Advised. For anyone watching, for any of the YouTube censors that are feeling like they want to strike me, that's going to get cut out. I did not follow the whole video through, and I was not aware that the F-bomb was in there. And of course, when I say the F-bomb, I don't mean fuck, because no one fucking gives a fuck about that word anymore. So, well, fuck it. How's everybody doing? It's, oh, hang on, I need to get rid of that and move that across. It's Friday night, Friday morning for most of you across the pond, in various places. Hope you're all doing well. Hope this gently eases you into what should be an end of the week. If you're like me and it's already the end of the week and you've already poured yourself a rum and coke, or you've already whatever else, just more power to you. Everyone's having a better day than me. Almost died this morning, having palpitations most of the day since the incident. Good dear God, what was said incident, Psycho Doll? Mind you, Psycho Doll's here. That reminds me, I should grift. Guys, as always, Aussie Overlaw'd on YouTube. Oh wait, it's not Aussie Overlaw'd on YouTube anymore. It's Law News and Laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd for the slim hope that it's going to get some more views because I might actually be able to be found in the algorithm. So, beyond that, you can find me on X, where I am regularly tweeting. You can occasionally find me on Twitch. Like 6 months ago, as far as I'm aware, the video on demands don't actually stay there, so maybe not. But you can also find me live as we speak on Rumble. So, yes, Psycho Doll, for God's sakes, please let me know exactly what happened. In the meantime, what we're going to be talking about today is apparently Massachusetts' latest parenting bill is something straight out of George Orwell's 1984. Don't know too much about it. Sky News did a 10-minute video on it.
Jason J has donated $10 and says for the demonetization.
Thank you very much, Jason. Very much appreciate that. For the $10, we are off and running. That puts us $40 away from dog cam. Beyond that, we have a man that was jailed for stabbing a friend with a golf club. We have an Alabama case that will help decide whether or not people can be prosecuted for being aided to leave the state in order to... What's the politically correct way for me to put it? End a pregnancy. Someone decided to take 2 letters out of the words saucy new nuggets and turn it into a racial slur for KFC. And a woman has lost an appeal over her child's birth certificate after her ex-wife had sex with their sperm donor. Hang on. Okay, here we go. This morning my electric shower... Why is your shower electric? Caught fire whilst I was in said shower. The only thing that stopped the house from going on fire was a quick actions to shut off the power. What? Stingy using his member chat, which does not seem to have been read out for some strange, inexcusable reason.
Stingy says, is Aussie cute? Is he pretty? Does he have a pretty booty? I'll just say, NOM, 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 NOM. Say my name.
Now is not the time. That's scary, especially in it. Yeah, like, okay, that kind of stopped my brain for a second there. How is your shower electric? Like, is this something that I do not understand? Like, general Discord, I sent a pic of the damage. It was mild, but terrifying at the same time. Why doesn't it say nom properly? No clue. Didn't know I could do that. Is it like a butt dial? No. So if you remember, once a month you get a free chat to send through to the channel. It should automatically read it out. I have no idea why that didn't. But anyway, tis what it has. Good afternoon, Joe Choi. Hope you're doing well. Am I the only like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. Why is your shower electric? Do you need to have, like, additional electricity to pump the water? Or, because ours is just pressurized. Like, it's pressurized from the street into the building. You turn the tap and it flows out at speed unaided. I'm weirded out by this. Water pressure pump? Is it? I'm assuming that has to be it. Water and electricity, not the best of friends in the first place. Exactly. You're 4 months away from getting a 2-year shirt 8 months later. Well, it's a good thing, Stinch, that there isn't a 12-month, 2-year shirt. Hang on. 24-month shirts do not exist. And for anyone that has missed it, there is in fact oh yeah, are you in a camper? It's for heating the water, I think, instead of the boiler. Hey, okay. That's weird as hell. I've never seen anything like that. Why do you have an electric device in your shower that... Is it for heating the water? Like, inline on-demand heater? That's what it looks like. If you don't know, if you're part of the membership, for God's sakes, go and join the Discord and you can have a look. There's a photo in the general Discord. Take a tumbler or a mug at 24 months? You wish. Aussie Tank says, I'll get my 12-month shirt one day. Yes, so thank you for reminding me. If there is anyone that did not see the message, I am organizing the 12-month shirts now. So, I'll probably give it until the end of next week if you have not already done so. That'll be the cutoff for the first batches of shirts. Please, for the love of God, email me at AussieOverlaw'd@gmail.com with your size and a postal address with your username. I don't want to know proper names. I don't want any of that information. Emails are going to get deleted after the fact. I will be sending them from the PO box in the US. So that's just the long and the short of it, okay? Using a propane version all week next week. Huh. Pretty much everyone who doesn't have access to gas, it's not in the shower. That one's in the shower. The photo that that Psychodol has posted is in the shower. It is next to a freaking handrail. Okay. Anyway. Oh, hang on, and I got completely derailed as to what we're going to be talking about today as well. So we got the woman losing the appeal over the fact that her ex-wife had sex with their sperm donor. And I got a really bad joke, which I kind of feel like I need to have Flux here for, but at the same time, I'm going to say it anyway. We've also got the disturbing reason that mayonnaise in a man's burger started moving. We've got Argentina using AI to predict future crimes. They're going full Minority Report, but they say it's worrying for citizens' rights. I'm shocked as to why. Hello to Orc, you've got a day off. Lovely. For heating the water instead of the boiler, I think. Okay. You and your fancy Western plumbing that has a water heater away from the shower. Yeah, not only that, we have the water heater outside the house. Post a list later. What, of everyone that's emailed me. Probably couldn't hurt, I suppose. We have Brittany Higgins is now being sued for a defamation after the whole Bruce Lerman grape scandal. Well, her old boss, Linda Reynolds, is suing her for defamation. Like my idea for the latest stream with games show stuff, I must have missed that. Oh, thank you for reminding me of the volume. God damn it. Alright, that should be better. And the main thing today, the big topic of the day, is Don Lemon and his lemon of a show that didn't even make it past a second episode on X. He's turned around and he's suing Elon for breach of contract. He is suing for fraud, for negligent misrepresentation, for misappropriation of name and likeness. Yeah, good frickin' luck with that. Misappropriation of name and likeness for under the common law and the civil code, breach of express contract, and unjust enrichment. Don. If anyone got unjust enrichment out of that contract,
has
it was
donated
you.
5 gifted and says gifted 5 law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd memberships.
Sweet. Thank you, Aussie Tank. You're a champion. That's another 5. So that puts us 15 away from Dog Cam, which means you gotta wake your ass up. And I am loving this. I very much prefer the memberships over the super chats because it's just it's camaraderie, it's community, it's beautiful green. Okay, so thank you. Don Lemon was named appropriately. He's a lemon, allegedly. Sent it right after someone looking at the Mr. Beast stuff over allegations of game fixing and illegal lotteries. Someone wanted someone to go over the laws. Oh, I briefly read over that. Yes, unjust enrichment is where someone gains a monetary bonus, well, unjustly, quite literally. It's when you gain a benefit at the expense of somebody else. As far as I'm concerned, Don's the one that gained additional notoriety out of that. I had never heard of the fucker until he had the thing on X. So, as far as I'm concerned, he's the one that benefited from it. Now, as for the Mr. Beast stuff, I saw that you said that the guy had already messaged off to Mindset, so I don't... A lemon is a sour type of food. Not only that, PT, a lemon is considered to be... Well, we're not going to go down the lemon party route because no one needs to throw up this early in the morning. A lemon, obviously, is like a bomb. I need to clarify that for YouTube. A lemon is considered to be like a junk car or something that is dead on arrival in terms of things that you buy. I've never actually once heard about it as an idiot, but I will take your word for it to Orc. Elon should come and offer Don Lemon a series of lemon drops. A lemon is a dud, thank you! That's the easiest way to explain it. I don't know why the hell I went through all the other things just to get to there. Also, a woman bought her own snacks to Despicable Me 4, and someone called the police. An FBI agent has been sentenced to life for child rape in Sweet Home Alabama. And if we get to it, we'll talk about this prison swap between Russia and the West and the changing shape of tradies and what they can and cannot get away with on the work site anymore. No shit, I won 40 on the lotto. No shit. Was curious, Don cries about racism, think he likes racism with his white hubby in the bedroom. Oh, stingy. I didn't even know about that. Karen, 2099 level on the candy. Oh, I'm pretty sure it was probably an employee, but let's get started with the Massachusetts stuff because I'm curious about what this new law's about. It's Rita's. We're starting off with Rita on Sky News. Her eyes alone have me a little bit concerned because she looks like a deer in the headlights, and I'm curious to exactly where this goes. So let's get stuck into it.
Texas, the Senate of that state has passed a bill erasing the concept of mothers and fathers from birth certificates, replacing them instead with person who gave birth and other parent.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The advocates for this plan argue this promotes legal parentage equality. The bill will soon be finalised and sent to the governor for approval, James.
Well, Rita, you know,
Stingy has donated 5 gifted and says gifted 5 law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd memberships.
Thank you very much for that, Stinge. I very much appreciate that. That, well and truly, puts us over the limit and scores a dog treat, which I just realised I'm going to have to run out to the kitchen and grab something else because I have 2 treats left. So I really meant to go to the store. And that puts us on that one with Leprechaun. Okay. Wait, wake up. Wake up. Wakey, wakey. There you go. All right. Okay, let me just start off by saying this is ridiculous, okay? A birth certificate should have the details. You can half the treats, can't you? Well, not really, because it's $10 for a treat and it's $10 for a full treat, so unless I start breaking them up and, like, getting really stingy with it, I mean, I could break that up into, like, 10 different treats, but I feel bad about it, if I'm honest. Oh, got one, it only shows 4. Ooh, I don't actually have the thing open. Give me a second and I shall find out where they went. No, that's that one. It's the Biden video that I'm now going to have to... Okay, so... Congratulations so far, too, because we've had 10 Aussie Overlaw'd memberships dropped. I can't remember. Jim Schuler, Cowpoke, Sniper79, YT, Yeet? Kerry Smith all got one. And then from Stingy, we had congratulations to Johnny Boy, Dragon Cook, Pluckett, that's a nice name, and Brittany. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, that's a good point. Who got the last one? I think Stingy just got ripped off a membership. Not sure if someone got it offline, if it shows it. It should still show it. $10 a treat? What kind of treat? A full schmacko. Although I am well and truly out of the schmackos now. She is not going to be happy about that. Oh well. Been a very good girl today. Birth certificates, in my opinion, should only show the details of the individuals that literally gave birth, or of the parents that are going to take charge and control of the child from the moment they are born. So, don't think my dog would accept half a treat? Yeah. Of course it would steal from you. I'll keep an eye out. If it shows up, I'll let you know, okay? Also, thank you to the 49 of you concurrent on YouTube and the 9 of you over on Rumble. Make sure you've hit that like button and double-checked whether or not you are still subscribed. Let's have a look at this.
I really can't believe how alt-right and fascist this Massachusetts bill is because, you know, they are totally erasing
How the fuck is this
every
alt-right?
parent who identifies as a cat or an otter or an octopus by saying the
good
person
point.
who gave birth. What is happening here in the once woke state of Massachusetts? No, seriously, Rita, this is one of these things that is designed, I think it is an absolute attack on the family. It's an attack on the concepts of motherhood and fatherhood, which are both crucial to parenting and to children. And it's like, you know, we're trying to shrink the number of things that we're allowed to say. It's something straight out of George Orwell. This is exactly what the Newspeak was in 1984 that he warned against. But of course, these people think 1984 was an instruction manual.
More and more, it's looking like it, yeah.
And they're following it
Rita, that was
very
a really
closely
bad... Hang on.
indeed. You're so right.
Hang on. That was a really bad, like... No, well, look, PT, I can understand why you wouldn't necessarily... If it's an anonymous donation, if it's someone that's provided sperm, for example, to a... to a sex clinic anonymously, and they have no parental rights whatsoever, no requirements that they're going to pay child support or anything like that, I can understand why their details will not be on. I'm okay with, obviously, the parents like the secondary parent, whether it's, you know, if you've got the mother, and then if the mother has a partner or whatever, whoever's going to have primary and secondary care of that child, I'm fine with that. Yes, sperm bank, thank you. The left is using 1984 as a manual. Yes, good lord, honest reporters. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, because, like, that was very scripted, and that's why I actually stopped the video there. Because Rita sort of took the whole, like, she took that split second too long to go, haha, yeah, okay. And I was like, that kind of grated a little bit. But anyway.
Right about that. Let's talk about Kamala, because this is also Orwellian. We're being told...
Wait, what? That's all it was? I thought this was a 10-minute video. Motherfucker. Oh, what the hell? I'll just keep it. I'll just let it go.
Great, moderate, safe pair of hands, popular, visionary leader. But here she is in 2019, not that long ago, talking about wanting illegal immigrants to be put on the path to citizenship. It seems like she thinks that's the solution to the illegal immigration crisis.
The idea that we would have a president of the United States that vilifies immigrants, that wants to build what I call his vanity project, a multi-billion-dollar wall, which, by the way, will never get built, is un-American. Deal with the problem. We have 11 million people here who need a pathway to citizenship. Be a leader on that, but we're not going to get that out of this president.
Will this come back to haunt her? Because it's all well and good for these videos to be unearthed, some of them even more recent, some of them from 6 months ago. But if the media isn't going to highlight it, if they're going to run these bogus fact checks saying, no, this isn't her position, she's now pro-fracking, she's pro-safe borders, she's pro-economic prosperity, how are the American people going to make a decision that's based on facts?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, we know that Kamala Harris has a long record of hard left progressive ideology. We also know that, frankly, she's not all that bright. So we don't actually know how much she actually thought through this, whether it's just she was sort of the vibe of the time and what the Democrats were saying. Either way, at the moment, though, as long as the media isn't giving her the scrutiny for this and so many other things, you know, including they should give illegal immigrants health care. She was Attorney General in California when they decided to give illegal immigrants driver's licenses, which is absolutely insane to me. I don't know how that...
See, and the other thing you got to remember as well, people, this isn't just an American issue that the left is pushing. I was reading today that the Albanese Labour government are looking at ways to give refugees and immigrants here pathways to accelerated pathways to citizenship, so they can provide them with more benefits, with more government funding, with a whole number of other things. And it's like, your state gives illegals driver's licenses too. Hear about what's going on in the UK with the stabbing of the little girls and the abusement by police of protesting citizens. Yeah, look, and I wasn't sure that I could cover that today. I was hoping to be a little bit more upbeat and that sort of thing. Also, let's face it, with what's going on with that one, you can kind of see that there's going to be some racial tensions, shall we say? Even if I get disability, I have 24-month wait for government insurance. Oh, jeez, sorry, that sucks. Anyway, I legitimately didn't play this video because I wanted them to talk about Kamala for so long. I'm assuming this is just like, been watching Lotus podcast cover it. Okay. Well, off you fuck. If you want, because I'm pretty sure that's still on, isn't it?
That works. You know, until there's some media scrutiny, no one's going to know. She's going to be this blank slate that everybody can project their own sort of idea of, well, you know, this is what I think progress should look like, and then they throw it on her. But it's also up to Donald Trump, I think, to really start to refocus his attacks, because he had all of the attacks on Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, all of that's out the window. He's gone. And now he's got to start really focusing hard on Kamala Harris, the border, the economy, crime, these things, because right now, you know, at the moment, the left is kind of getting to define the terms of what people are talking about. That's dangerous for him.
And I think they've got to get away with
what now? No, I must have missed that one,
from
Jason.
Focusing so much
I'll have
on
a look.
whether she's Indian, whether she's black, all those sorts of games.
Oh, I don't really
And
give a
actually
rat's
get
ass.
to shot. It clearly shows the shooter moving about on the roof minutes before he opened fire. James, we know the director of the Secret Service, Kim Cheadle, has stepped down in disgrace, but that's not enough. That can't be the end of this matter. The media and the Democrats want to memory hold this attempted assassination, but there needs to be some accountability for the failures on that day. I mean, when you look at that footage, it is beyond belief that he was allowed to take those shots and kill a man. Cheadle is
I'm going to see this again.
on the roof.
No, I haven't seen any of this. I've been offline because I've been looking after a little one today. Jesus. Google trying to cover it up. I did see that.
Footage, it is beyond belief that he was allowed to take those shots and kill a man and also almost kill President Trump.
And it's just amazing how you think that we were maybe a half an inch away from American history being a very different thing right now, and America being a very different place right now, because, we watched it, Rita. We saw it happen that Sunday morning here in Australia. It's just shocking. And I also don't think that just mere resignations are enough here, because there needs to be a really full, deep inquiry. That vision is just unreal. How is it that the Secret Service let the president, the former president, the possible future president up on that stage when they knew that there was somebody running around with a rangefinder, possibly a gun, and they let him out on that stage? How is that even possible? And then to see that vision where, we know from other shots that there were snipers on the roof behind Trump. They didn't see this figure running around on the roof across the way. I mean, it's not just about getting Kim Cheadle to resign. It's not just about Mayorkas even resigning or anybody like that. This is about finding out the real dereliction of duty that happened here and why.
And we know the Trump campaign wanted extra resources. They were denied that. Since the attempted assassination, the Secret Service has advised the Trump campaign not to hold these outdoor rallies. To me, that's borderline election interference. That's how Trump campaigns. How can you ask him to change how he campaigns because you're not competent enough to protect him?
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly right. I mean, that really does feel like they're putting the thumbs on the scale and saying, your big asset is your ability to speak to huge arenas, huge crowds, and we don't want you to do that anymore. Well, I'm sorry. He's the candidate. You figure out how to protect him. I mean, this is like saying, she was wearing a short skirt. She deserved it. This is, really just a real dereliction of their duties to protect everybody. And one of the interesting things is I think we're going to see bipartisan consensus on this, too, because we saw during those hearings with Kimberly Cheadle, who's the now resigned head of the Secret Service, how many Democrat lawmakers were also furious, because they all know that everybody's in jeopardy. It's not just Trump. From some mad person out there, for whatever reason, they rely on this agency being as absolutely world-class competent as it can be. They're not getting it, and democracy in America depends on it.
Absolutely. Now, Donald Trump has appeared at a panel event held by the National Association of Black Journalists, where he was quizzed on all sorts of issues in a very hostile manner, I might add. And one of the discussion points, naturally, was January 6th.
Were the people who assaulted those 104
Government people in
Yes, has been.
Don't worry, YouTube. I'm skipping over that one.
Which Trump.
Never mind. I handled it, YouTube. Don't shoot. I could feel. I feel like there's a YouTube sensor sniper sitting on a sloped roof. I just need to back away from that one. He toasted those bitches. I saw the thing about the about him tightening the water bottle and all that sort of stuff and a few other things, but would Logic watch it as well? Okay. Anyway, the main thing about this was the parenting bill, because I wanted to jump from that into the news article about the woman who lost an appeal over her child's birth certificate after her ex-wife had sex with their donor. Yes, nothing to see here, YouTube. Move on. Everyone that's watching, continue to watch. All 51 of you. Also, remember to hit that like button, people. Come on. We've got 36. At least 20 of you haven't done your jobs. A judge dismissed a challenge over removal of a woman's name and warns against the risks of informal conception arrangements. A woman has lost a Court of Appeal challenge over her name being removed from a child's birth certificate after her ex-wife admitted that she secretly fucked the sperm donor. That's not what the article says, but I'm saying it right here. She fucked him. She fucked him good. Ruined the 3 female journos on the panel. It was great. I'll have to go back and watch it, honestly. The unprecedented and unusual case centered on the question of who were the legal parents of the girl, now aged 6. The child, referred to as X, was born amid an informal conception arrangement between 2 women and a man who they met through an online advert, judges were told. The couple, referred to as P and Q, met the man F for the first time in a pub in late 2016, hoping to find a sperm donor to impregnate P. The women formed a favourable impression of him, and the 3 of them then signed a sperm donor agreement, agreeing to use artificial insemination. When 2 artificial attempts failed, the court heard how P contacted F for support, and the pair fucked. P had been very upset and depressed about the lack of success, and arranged to meet him at her parents' house while they were abroad. Sneaking a sperm donor in while the parents are on a trip. That doesn't sound familiar at all, does it? She found him friendly and sympathetic and initiated the fucking, a court was told. I'm sorry, I am not being, what do you call it? Shit, what's the word I'm looking for here? Delicate or polite about this in the slightest. Weren't they both broads? Oh, I'm not counting the fucks today. I'm just not. PNF fucked 3 times at her parents' house, unknown to Q, with the 3rd time coinciding with a 3rd artificial insemination attempt. So it wasn't even a single instance where they fucked 3 times in the same day. They fucked 3 separate times on 3 separate occasions. She really wanted to be up the duff. You know, I actually swore to myself that I'd stop swearing so much and try and be a little bit more, like, consumer friendly. Aussie's fucking awesome today. Thank you. Judges said it was impossible to know which method of insemination led to the child's conception. P and Q later divorced, and amid a disagreement over the care of the child, P revealed the truth about her encounter with their donor and secured a court declaration earlier this year that F was the child's legal parent. For 6 years, this child has been in both of their lives. She knew that, yeah, no, it's obviously not cool. I'm still monetized? Yeah, well, you're still seeing the ads, so. How does it count as artificial insemination? She's having sex? Because she was still going to the doctors and having the sperm injected into her artificially. And so they can't actually tell whether or not it was the sperm meeting the egg and then being inserted into her uterus artificially, or if it was as part of the fucking. That's why he is officially the legal parent, because the court cannot determine whether or not it was done through the scientific method or through the good old-fashioned method. In her ruling in April, Mrs. Justice Knowles said the case was a cautionary tale about the consequences for a child and for a same-sex couple of both deceit as to how the child came to be conceived and the unreliability of informal arrangements for artificial insemination. She added the fallout from this couple's separation has been devastating for each of them and for the named sperm donor. What about the kid? What about the 6-year-old child that grew up with 2 loving parents, I assume, and that now has to go, oh yeah, okay, mummy and mummy divorced, and now I've got someone else in my life that I'm not actually living with anyway. Am I gonna boomer shit today? Oh, I was like 60 seconds late. Gay friend often has a saying that there's no such thing as a lesbian, just by women, guys flaming, and says things like, vag needs a dick, but a dick can go anywhere. Don't think it really matters, she fudged him. Yep. When a mummy loves another mummy a lot and they find a loser with a turkey baster and make a baby. Okay. The joke that I was going to tell. What do you call a lesbian whose pubes are on fire? An LGBTQ. Okay. She concluded that on the balance of probabilities, while Q had not consented to sex between P and F, the method for the child's conception was unclear. This meant Q could not be considered the parent under the law that grants it to the wife or civil partners of women who give birth via artificial insemination. Q, who faced the painful situation of being replaced on the child's birth certificate, appealed against the decision at a hearing in London this month. In a written judgment on Friday, Lord Justice Jackson, who heard the case, alongside Lady Justice Davies and Lord Justice Arnold, said that the challenge should be dismissed. Lawyers for Q argued that it was for P to show that the child was not conceived as a result of artificial insemination. They told judges that the previous ruling undermined the law by encouraging anyone seeking to exclude a wife or former partner from parenthood to raise questions regarding the conception of the child and place an almost impossible burden of proving artificial insemination on the non-genetic parent. Okay, but that's flying in the exact face of... His legal team said scientific testing showed that F was the genetic father, meaning the court had to declare paternity in his favour because it could not be proved that the law on artificial insemination applied. Jackson said that in the unusual circumstances of this case, Q had not proved that the legislation applied. That's the problem. If she could have proven that it was via artificial insemination, then she would have had rights. But because she couldn't, the laws did not apply. He added that the outcome is a hard one, and perhaps for X, adding that the informal conception arrangement came with inherent risks. He said that X exists because P and Q wanted her, and F was at the time no more than a means to an end. It may therefore seem strange that her parentage should be determined by the way in which she was conceived, but in this area a line must be drawn somewhere. In his conclusion, the judge said, it is understandable that there should be anxiety about the disturbance that can be caused to accepted relationship by later assertions about the means of conception, whether well-founded or mischievous. He said that such situations can arise in all walks of life, and whatever the family situation, the court will scrutinise the evidence and reach its conclusion in the normal way. He said that after a separate welfare hearing, a judge had given all three parents parental responsibility for the child. Thank fuck for that. So... non-cheating mum is still going to be in the daughter's life. Thank Christ for that, honestly, because that would have annoyed the hell out of me. Farter, men wearing makeup is disgraceful. That's not what I meant, and you knew it. Yes, Jem, but anyone can be a father. It takes someone special to be a dad. Problem with this birth cert's non-genetic, meaning you had nothing to do with it. Oh. Was just about to ask about child support. Yeah, well. Okay. Let me... up. Insert a marker. And... boom. Man jailed for stabbing friend to death with a golf club. A man who murdered his friend by stabbing him through the heart with a broken golf club has been jailed for 18 years. Ruarid Levy, 41, attacked Craig McNaught, 49, at his home in Tillicoultry, Clackmannanshire, in March last year. The killer went on to take photos of him when he'd been badly beaten. Levy claimed that he had been acting in self-defence, but was convicted of murder after trial in the High Court in Glasgow. Jailing him, Lord Eric said, Levy, you stabbed Mr. Chris McNaught in the back with a broken golf club shaft, which pierced his right lung and heart. The jury rejected self-defense. You committed a brutal murder.
A brutal murder!
The men had known each other for around 11 years and lived near each other in the town. On the day of the murder, they ended up at Levy's home and played Xbox games, listened to music, and watched YouTube. Hopefully not me. And WWE wrestling events. In his evidence, Levy said that Mr. McNaught fell asleep while he was watching the TV. He claimed that his friend woke up, suddenly grabbed him and choked him before whacking a golf club off the floor and breaking it. Levy claimed his friend armed himself with another weapon. He added, my head was spinning, I thought I was going to die. Boom, boom, boom. Jeebus Christo, YouTube, if you're going to interrupt with ads every 5 minutes, at least make them different ads. Are they seriously doing it every 5 minutes? Is a poll responsible for the child even though we signed an agreement not to be? Depends what the... Well, yes, allegedly the poll continues to have parental responsibility as well. Yeah, well, I mean, this guy was impaled by the guy's shaft. I just think it just went in the wrong place. Look, the ads shouldn't be every 5 minutes. That's really irritating. It's supposed to be balanced. I will keep an eye out and see when it will let me know. You only had one so far? Fair enough. He told the jurors that he then picked up the broken shaft to protect himself. He claimed he must have stabbed his friend with it during the confrontation, but not deliberately. He called an ambulance 2 hours later after he'd taken photos of Mr. McNaught. He denied causing Mr. McNaught's other injuries to the face and head with the club while it was still intact. Levy said he was traumatized and claimed he did not remember causing the fatal wound. But prosecutors dismissed Levy's suggestion that he was defending himself. Advocate Deputy Alan Parfrey asked, "At the time you took photos to boast of what you had done?" Levy replied, "Comes across that way, doesn't it?" Mr. Parfrey said Levy was triumphant that he had won the fight. Lord Eric jailed Levy for life and ordered that he serve a minimum of 18 years for the
murder.
Okay, and sticking with the whole reproductive rights scenario, I probably should have went to this one first before I moved on to the different areas. Alabama case will decide if the state can prosecute people who help abortion seekers find care. Because this is a gentle and delicate topic, I will not be using
any voice disguises or anything like that. We want to make sure that we cover this with the utmost care, dignity, and respect. Or fuck it, I can just be as much of a dick as I like so that people know that I don't come down on it either side.
The lawsuit tests the limits of Alabama's strict abortion ban and the power of its outspoken attorney general. A federal court judge in Alabama will soon answer a crucial question. In a state where abortion is illegal, can healthcare providers and advocates be punished for helping patients seek the procedure elsewhere? Yeah, sticking a shaft in the wrong place is a no-no. Alright, there are still 13 of you that haven't hit the like button. I can wait. Vote for the voice changer the whole time, but fem style. I don't actually have I've only got a couple of different types of voice changer on this. So, because, I mean, I can't really attribute to, I can't acquiesce to every request that Stingy has, so. Alright, in 2022, just weeks after the US Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade and the state's abortion ban kicked in, Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall, a Republican, said on a radio show that groups helping to fund out-of-state abortions could face felony charges. His comments rattled healthcare providers who might advise a pregnant woman seeking an abortion to travel out of state and abortion funds to help arrange and fund such travel. That advice and support are key abortion rights supporters say, because several states across the South have either restricted or banned abortion, resulting in a maze of conflicting laws for patients to navigate. So the providers and advocates took Marshall to court, separately suing to block him from making good on the threats of prosecution. No Alabama law authorizes such prosecutions, nor could it. There will be a blatant extraterritorial overreach of state power, the provider's lawsuit states, arguing that Marshall's vow violates the First Amendment, the right of travel, and other constitutional protections. I got dislike, you're not my dad, but you're my... Oh, for God's sakes. You know what? No, I don't care. One way or another. You want to hit the like or the dislike, it's still engagement for me, so cheers. Marshall's office did not respond to a request for comment or address concerns that his reading of the law could make relatives of women seeking abortions vulnerable to prosecution. In a filing in August asking the court to dismiss the now consolidated case, his office argued that an elective abortion performed in Alabama would be a criminal offense, thus a conspiracy formed in the state to have that same act performed outside the state is illegal. The plaintiffs, who include the Yellowhammer Fund, an abortion fund, and the West Alabama Women's Center, now known as WAWC Healthcare, along with other healthcare providers, have some reason for optimism. In May, U.S. District Judge Myron Thompson of the Middle District of Alabama, who will rule on the case, declined the state's request to dismiss it. Alabama can no more restrict people from going to, say, California to engage what is lawful there than California can restrict people from coming to Alabama to do what is lawful here, he wrote at the time. If the plaintiffs win, providers and advocates will be able to freely provide information about out-of-state options, as well as financial support without the risk of prosecution. It could also represent a rare victory for rights in the state with one of the strictest bans in the country, with an exception only for serious health risks of the patient. Jamila Johnson, an attorney with the Lawyering Project who was representing the Yellowhammer Fund, said there are broader consequences if the state's allowed to use anti-conspiracy laws against those who help with travel. Yellowhammer's a new name for a hog? Yes, hit the like button or the drop bears will get you. Come on, there's 63 watching and there's 55 likes. You can do it. Just caress it. Just the once or second time and a third time, okay? So long as it's an odd number, I don't care. I mean, I think it still actually counts each time because it recognizes that people are messing with it, but, yeah. Nobody wants to put their doctor at risk. No one wants to put their mother or their loved ones at risk, or the community groups that they relied on in their neighborhood. So you can see this creates a tremendous amount of silence and people who aren't going to ask for help for what they need. Alabama is not the only state where people who help abortion seekers travel out of state can be called into question. Last year, Idaho banned people from helping minors cross state lines in pursuit of abortions without parental consent. That seems reasonable to me. In Texas, an anti-abortion attorney has argued that a bounty hunter law allowing private citizens to bring civil suits against people who help residents obtain abortions after 6 weeks could also apply to abortions performed outside the state. Legal experts dispute that interpretation of the law. Well, yeah, again, that's the extraterritoriality issue. Hog equals penis. All I need, as in, I need an abortion because I had a run-in with a yellowhammer. Oh, that's terrible. That's actually really bad. Just like when the California hypocrites travel to Nevada to shoot machine guns, which are illegal to basically look at in Cali. Exactly. Although Marshall has not brought any charges, rights advocates say his remarks have had a chilling effect on the funds and healthcare providers. The Yellowhammer Fund paused its assistance because of Marshall's remarks and now focuses on helping people access contraception, mutual aid, and other care. When people call seeking abortions, it now tells them that it cannot provide them funds for abortion or refer them elsewhere. I don't know that I need to finish this because this pretty well is just with quotes from various places. I mean, look, looking at the legality of what they would be trying to push there, I agree that extraterritoriality would be a huge issue. For example, if you were to set a similar precedent like that, we would have an issue with Miss Julie Inman Grant, the e-safety commissioner that left Twitter and is now running a branch of the Australian government. Simple fact of the matter is, Australian laws do not reach beyond the territorial waters. We need a legal way to get Hayden his lewd statues. No thanks. By making this law to threaten organisations that take girls across the border to get care, there is some fucked up shit that came out about a woman being trafficked. I doubt I doubt that's what he's using this for, if I'm perfectly honest. And I mean, if there's no federal law to it, then it shouldn't matter whether or not individuals are crossing state lines. One state can't inhibit the travel between another. And again, if you're providing information, then that's trying to stamp that out as in breach of the First Amendment, whatever way you want to look at it. A state cannot dictate what you do in another state. You got to follow the laws of the state you're in, not the state you're a resident of. Now you have a state saying they own you. Exactly, is what it boils down to. Alrighty, moving the F along. A Connecticut man driving back from upstate New York got bitten by a rattlesnake. There's a snake in my boot! As he tried to help, and he ended up in a coma. This is why I can't do snakes. Honestly. The attempted good deed landed him in the Connecticut hospital in a medically induced coma after a timberland rattlesnake, which is rare in the Northeast, bit his hand when he threw a shirt over it and tried to pick it up, said Brittany Hillmeyer, his former girlfriend and mother of his daughter. The snake was an ingrate. Hillmeyer said Ricaridella called her on Sunday to say he'd just been bitten and was driving to the hospital. His voice sounded odd like Donald Duck. Wait, no, that's Daffy. Why is it? No, that's... Never mind. She said it happened as he was driving from a park in upstate New York to his home in Torrington, Connecticut, about 25 miles. west of Hartford. It wasn't exactly clear where the encounter happened because he hasn't been able to speak in detail yet to family or friends, she said. I'm just going to talk like this for a moment until I get my words back, okay? Just until my brain engages and the filter from my mouth comes back into contact with the rest of my nervous system, so I'm actually making some sense. Haha, we own 2 snakes. Well, I should think you own at least 2 snakes. And they are very sweet. That's what they make machetes for, isn't it? Well, yes, one would think that that's why you're going to have a machete. Although, to be fair, we deal with our snake problem here without machetes all the time. So,
Jill Ems has donated $10.00 and says look up tradie pleads guilty to attempted murder of colleague after severed leg found on side of road.
Thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Angel. Snoring puppy. There it is. You thought the cotton would stop snake fangs? What the fuck? Fix the education system? Yeah. Well, yes, Jill, I will happily have a look at that, and thank you very much for the super chat. Come across some hiking in the Loud AF. Yeah, well. Okay. The father of 4 who runs a landscaping business and has no medical insurance went into cardiac arrest, was resuscitated and later placed in a medically induced coma after being flown from the hospital in Torrington, one in Hartford, Hillmy said. Fuck, he went into cardiac arrest, was resuscitated and later placed into a medically induced coma. He has no medical insurance. I'd be like, fuck it, just let me go. Let me die. Have 13 snakes, love them all. No shit, okay. He remained intubated and sedated because of the swelling from the venom, she said. It was surprising that, like anybody, would try and pick up a rattlesnake, she said. But it doesn't surprise me in the same sense because he kind of always did that. If he saw an animal on the side of the road or in the road, he would try and stop and get them off the road. Moron. Or if he was in his Facebook group and he'd see that they had animals that need help, he would take those animals. It's crazy. It's something you would never think is going to happen, she said. The timber rattlesnake is one of 2 venomous snakes found in Connecticut, so the odds of him running into it, oh my god. Only dangerous venomous snakes are the purple-headed trouser snake. They put you in hospital for 9 months after they strike. Oh, they put you in hospital 9 months after they strike. Sometimes you're lucky if you make it to 9 months. No health insurance, that's a nice $5 million medical bill. Yep. The other being the northern copperhead, and is extremely rare, according to the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection. The snake is listed as endangered, and it is illegal to kill or collect. Rattlesnake bites are also extremely rare in the state. So he literally got this because he decided it'd be a good idea to try and pick it up. Fridays are great since the work week is over, but you make mine awesome this morning. You're very welcome, pesky citizen. Natural selection it is then. Yes! His brother said they grew up in Waterbury, Connecticut, spent weekends in the upstate New York where they used to play in the woods and catch snakes, lizards, and other critters, but never a rattlesnake. He said he was surprised that his brother tried to help one and was bitten. He does quite know better. The family set up a GoFundMe page that's raised more than $5,000 so far to pay his medical bills. Somehow, I don't think that's gonna be enough. I'm just gonna see if I can quickly look this up. I'm hoping, because that's gonna be, there it is, support his GoFundMe. Oh, to be fair, it's been up for 3 days. They've raised $9,222 out of the $100,000 goal. Yeah. Good luck. I wish you all the best. You batted 1,000 with the timber. What a dunce. Yep. Then he's a dumbass. At least they're not scared of our animals. We just don't fuck around with nature. We're fine. 5K, just a few million short. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oh shit, they didn't even really write a half-decent donation thing on it. Medical bills are piling up and he has no insurance as he's a self-employed landscaper. Joseph has 4 children, 3 of whom are under 16. Oh, damn. That's not great. Extraordinarily sorry to hear that. Although I'm not going to bring this up because if I show the photo of how bad his haircut is, people may decide that it was deserved. All from a snake bite in 2019 cost a guy $150,000. Jeez. Alright. Sign letters altered at New Hartford KFC to display racial slur. New Hampshire PD investigates. Or was it New Hartford PD, sorry. New saucy. Oh, damn it, I don't have the button on here anymore. Wait, why do I not have my censor button anymore? Oops. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's really, really bad. Should have them write it off as a charity before raising money? Possibly. Does it look like his IQ could be determined by his haircut? A little bit. How can you be a landscaper with no insurance? That's exactly what I was thinking when I read that. A racial slur was displayed on the KFC sign in New Hartford. Letters on the fast food signs display that faces Seneca Turnpike were rearranged to change the word nuggets into a racial slur. The New Hartford Police Department has canvassed the area for video surveillance of the suspect or suspects responsible for the highly offensive sign. Officials with the department stated that they have also determined some video surveillance may exist, and they're working to secure footage of from its source. Once the video is reviewed, they will proceed with the investigation and release any available footage of the suspects in an attempt to identify those responsible for this completely reprehensible and disgusting act. I'm not saying that they should have done it, but it's still funny. Like, thought the blanked word was nudes. Nope. Nope. Again, we wind up with the street sign that Bruce Willis wore in Die Hard 3. This was in NH where I want to go see. Oh, no shit. Oh, where was it? Oh, what did they say? Seneca Turnpike? So you're looking for a KFC along Seneca Turnpike somewhere? I dare say they've taken it down by now. The rearranging of the letters was reported yesterday at 12:30 p.m. by store management. All letters on both sides of the sign were removed this morning. Oh, there's video. There's video.
New Hartford police are investigating the recent racist vandalism of a fast food restaurant sign.
No arrests yet, but police say there is surveillance footage. Here's what the sign on KFC looked like for more than a day. Letters rearranged to...
No one noticed for a day? And how much you want to bet the PC is politically correct? Fuck off. No, I believe it was the hard R. Bet the police chief was laughing his ass off earlier.
to turn the word nuggets into a racial slur. This is the restaurant on Seneca Turnpike. Now, New Hartford's police chief tells us KFC reported the crime at about 12:30 yesterday afternoon. All letters on both sides were removed this morning. Officers are working to secure area surveillance video, and when they do, they say will release what they can to help identify any suspects, quote, responsible for completely reprehensible and disgusting acts. If you have any information that could help police, you're asked to give them a call at 315.
I believe it did, Misty. Yes, I believe it ended with an R.
66.
We are following.
Oh my god! Could you imagine being the news reporter and having to take that seriously and going, yes, and we're going to follow this story to the end. We want those hard R's to be brought to justice. Oh my god. Holy fruitcake. Oh. Okay. Close that one, close that one, close that one. Have a box of 6 to go. Oh, Jesus, talk. Oh, alright. I hope no one's eating breakfast. I give you fair warning to put the spoon down or the fork or whatever else. Guarantee you it didn't offend one black guy in New Hampshire. Say it 10 times on my way to work every day just to charge up my power levels. Jesus, KY. If KFC try to appeal, is it KFC trying to appeal to its core demographic? Billy's like, I'm eating dinner. Yeah, fair warning. Disturbing reason that mayonnaise in a man's burger started moving. A New Zealand man's reaction to a stomach-churning find in his burger has surprised onlookers, many of whom suggested that he sue the restaurant that he ordered the meal from. Disturbing video of the discovery shows a wriggling white organism with the caption, I thought it was mayo until it started moving. The TikToker has asked fellow users to help identify the creature, with the most common answer being a tapeworm. Two veterinarians who viewed the video confirmed these suspicions to Yahoo News, saying it appears to be a segment of a tapeworm. A segment! Because he'd already bit into it. Although how the parasite came to be in the burger is unclear. Thousands of commenters urged the man to name the eatery in question and take legal action over the find, saying he'd be entitled to a substantial amount of settlement money. But to the surprise of many, he shut down the suggestions. In follow-up comments, the man said that he sought a response from the restaurant. While he sought a response from the restaurant, he wouldn't name it publicly because his friend works there and he doesn't want to see it shut down. He also laughed off the idea of suing, telling American viewers that Kiwis don't sue over such incidents. So... New Zealand's not like America, We try to resolve, not go for millions over something like this. He wrote, "Are you stupid? Go after the millions." One shocked viewer responded, "That's the dumbest thing I've heard today. Why waste a chance to get money from a company that gave you a parasite?" Added a second, "Tapeworms can kill you. I'd get paid." It's because his buddy did it. You reckon? Probably better than Ozempic. According to Health Direct, tapeworms are parasites that live in the intestines of animals and have a head, neck, and body with many segments. They lay their eggs, hatch into larvae before maturing into adult tapeworms. Would you sue the restaurant for serving you a tapeworm? Yes! Oh, actually, I probably should change that to only if I got sick. Actually, you know what? No. That's just gross. Yes. Humans can be infected by eating or drinking tapeworm eggs or larvae if in contaminated meat or water, which break through the wall of the intestines and can live there for many years as they grow. In rare cases, tapeworms can cause life-threatening damage, but often there will be no symptoms. If a person does experience symptoms, they can include abdominal pain, nausea, weakness, or tiredness.
Diarrhea!
Loss of appetite, vitamin and mineral deficiencies, and pieces of worm in feces. Notice how that sounded almost like one of those big pharma ads? Diagnosing tapeworm infection is done by a stool sample and sometimes a blood test, with the course of medicine being the usual treatment. No, we're not to vacation? Yes, I shouldn't want... I wouldn't be. Your health and life is not worth it. Exactly. This one's a bit... Oh, hang on, is she gonna... How bad is it gonna be? Oh, good, they cut off the nipples. That came across wrong. Every time I've seen a photo of her in the news recently, she's had her tits out and the top has been almost completely see-through. What I meant is that they've cropped the photo to, yeah, I know, phrasing was bad. Okay, so that's fine. That's an okay one. Oh, boy. All right. Okay. Argentina will use AI to predict future crimes, but excerpts, I almost said escorts then, but I mean, they're probably the only people that are doing well out of all this, aren't they? Cut off the nipples, what is she, an ex-Irish king? No, she's just an Aussie that used to be fairly attractive before Kanye got his mitts into her. And it's a little bit disturbing. Did I talk about the Elon lawsuit yet? Not yet. That's in today's doc review. We're getting there. We're almost there. I've just realized how far into the show we already are. So don't have to worry about you having a hobby of making human skin lampshades. No. It puts the moisturizer on or it gets the hose. Just doesn't sound right in an Aussie accent. Minority Report going to have the same result. Quite possibly, yeah. Argentina security forces have announced plans to use artificial intelligence to predict future crimes in a move that experts have warned could threaten citizens' rights. No shit, Sherlock, you think? I mean, I'm sorry, but as bad as it sounds, I would trust AI less than a fictional fucking precognition expert. You know, a literal psychic. The country's far-right president, Javier Milei, this week created an artificial intelligence applied to security unit, which the legislation says will use machine learning algorithms to analyze historical crime data and predict future crimes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Someone want to tell me what the demographics are in Argentina? We know how this played out when they ran it in court. Cops already police the way the AI would be trained. No, it's worse than that, Chris. It is worse than that because they ran a trial where they put an AI in charge of sentencing. And we know how badly that went by because the AI had the full data set of all the previous sentences imposed by judges. And as you can imagine, there was a certain racial bias applied to those cases. And it went very badly for certain demographics. You think it's bad that AI facial recognition is racist? Just wait until you got a judge. Latin Germans using BS algorithms to predict BS is not going to go well. Well, it was nice having a monetized stream while it worked. You know, I'm going to skip that set of ads. Fuck them. This is hilariously bad. Shouldn't they try to predict the future and fail first before putting it in practice? Nope. Any crime that keeps happening based on race would be sentenced harder. That's exactly what happened, Chris. But it's not only that. It was that they applied the sentences that were historically applied to certain demographics by the judges. So, for example, in certain areas, certain demographics may have received harsher penalties. As such, when the AI was doing the sentencing and a person from a certain demographic came before them, they still received a harsher penalty than someone from another demographic may have. And it was all captured in all of the data, in all of the data sets, and it showed it categorically exactly what would happen. Wait, what's wrong with Boosh? You having a really bad time? What's up, buddy? What's wrong? There's some really scary AI images. How real they are? Oh, I don't want to know. Dude, do not make AOC appealing to me, okay? I'm sorry. Ooh, the Taylor Swift one can... Okay, I don't know who the last one is. Is that supposed to be AOC? I don't know. Anyway. Very not okay. Say the N-word, it'll boost you up. Not a chance in hell. Dislocated my knee stepping out of the car? Dude. So you're saying AI is doing pattern recognition, unfortunately. Lisa, is anyone else saying that I'm blurry? You may have the resolution of the stream low. I mean, I'll double check, but as far as I'm aware, I'm going out at the usual... Crazy how real they look. I'm not disagreeing with you. That looks pretty freaking real. But I don't understand why you would try and humanize AOC to me. Okay, at least we know that's going out. Yeah, no, it's going out at 1080. I think there might be a, there was a crunch and a lot of pain. Oh, Boosh, I'm so sorry to hear that, buddy. Fingers crossed you get better soon. That really sucks. I'm genuinely sorry to hear that. I mean, as someone that has constant ankle issues, that's... You know you'd love her. Yeah, look, based on those photos, would. Getting old sucks. Good luck and Godspeed, Bush. Yep. Self-injury, perfect opportunity to shout racial slurs. Jesus, KY, you got one thing stuck in your head, haven't you? Stuck in your head, haven't you? Hayden's blurry for you. That means someone is censoring the stream for you. Probably. How do you change it? So depending on whether or not you are on a phone or a computer, either way, either if you're on the computer, in the bottom, I want to say right-hand corner, there should be a little gear for the settings icon. If you're on a phone, tap the screen and it's probably in the top right-hand corner. There'll be a setting for resolution and should be able to change it. It was the TV. I'm sorry, I got no idea how to help you with the TV. Sorry about that. Okay. Where did I get to? Shit. It's the very next friggin' sentence. It's also expected to deploy facial recognition software to identify wanted persons, patrol social media, and analyze real-time security footage to detect suspicious activities. How did he go from so, like, likable and right-wing and ripping all the stupid ministries out to implementing this? Well, the Ministry of Security has said that the new unit will help to detect potential threats, identify movements of criminal groups, or anticipate disturbances. The Minority Report-esque resolution has sent alarm bells ringing amongst human rights organizations. Yeah. There's a gear on the TV too. Oh, there you go. Squid, how you doing? Experts fear that certain groups of society will be overtly scrutinized by the technology. Gee, I wonder why. And have also raised concerns over who and how many security forces will be able to access the information. Amnesty International warned that the move could infringe on human rights. Large-scale surveillance affects freedom of expression because it encourages people to self-censor or refrain from sharing their ideas or criticisms if they suspect that everything they comment on, post, or publish is being monitored by security forces, said Mariella Belsky, the executive director of Amnesty International and Argentina. Yes, as someone who is currently under the thumb of the E-Safety Commissioner here in Australia, I can honestly say that there are certain things that I keep to myself. There, I said it. Julie. I'm downplaying certain things because I know you're watching and listening, okay? And not everybody, like, has the balls to even raise to the level that I do, so I really, really, really want either a First or Second Amendment. Notice how I said or? No, I desperately want a freedom. I desperately want a right to free speech. I desperately want it. And that's why, when Joe was saying the other day, I don't think it's appropriate that just because someone sets foot on the US soil that they gain the abilities out of the Bill of Rights. I'm like, fuck you, Joe. That's the only way that I ever get free speech is when I land at LAX. The moment I set foot on American soil, I know I can say whatever I goddamn want to anybody. And he wants to take that away from me. I have balls. I shared my how my leg is. That leg crunch. No, Bush, I get that, but you're not in Australia. That's a different thing. Came in the middle of the story, but far right and libertarian don't go together. This is true. Emus. Oh wait, is he libertarian? Not far. Oh right. Oh no, they've literally said a far-right libertarian. Okay. Meanwhile, the Argentine Center for Studies of Freedom of Expression and Access to Information said such technologies have historically been used to profile academics, journalists, politicians, and activists. I don't have an issue with 2 out of those 4. Academics can be scrutinized all they need to, because let's face it, half the time the academics are the ones that need a wood chipper. And politicians, well, every politician should be scrutinized. How limited is my free speech here? Very. The closest thing that we have to a right to free speech is a very limited right to political free speech. Even that's been curtailed, and the only reason that we have that is because the High Court here did some very tactful legal gymnastics, jumping around hoops and tying themselves into knots to say that we should be free to criticize the government. That's about it. Kind of fire up Lord Chippy? Always. Press for Bush's ankle, yes. Lib Dem Party in Australia also want to give us a Second and First Amendment protections enshrined in the Constitution. It's never going to happen. That's the problem. Oh, the There are no floating emojis on this one because I don't have it on this page. Give me 2 seconds and I'll fix that. Where are we? Note wall. Take that. Back on. That one. There we go. We have our remote. Oh, all good, Squid. Take as much time as you need. I'll be here. During COVID, we had police flying drones telling off kids fishing on a beach. Yep. Constitutional Bill of Rights is for citizens. Don't mind people being granted the benefit of them while visiting. The problem is if it's being misconstrued to blanket apply to every illegal alien. I agree with you on that. Okay. Theoretically, it should be working. You should be able to post whatever emojis you like. Also, Singland, thank you for chatting over on Rumble as well. Last few streams, there haven't been many people talking on Rumble, and I've honestly thought that it was a bit dead, but I'm glad to see that at least someone's watching. Said if I dislocate one more time, I would have to have surgery. I didn't have the surgery. Huh. No, there you go. The floaters are there. Millet, a far-right libertarian, rose to power late last year and has promised hardline responses to tackling crime. His security minister, Patricia Bullrich, reportedly seeks to replicate El Salvador's controversial prison model, while the administration is moving towards militarizing security policy, according to the Center for Legal and Social Studies. The government's also cracked down on protests, with riot police recently shooting tear gas and rubber bullets at demonstrators at close range, and officials threatening to sanction parents who bring children to marches. Children should not be taken to marches. If they are of an age where they are unable to defend themselves from a canister of tear gas, or, tell their parents that they're fucking lunatics, they should not be going to marches. Should never give up the guns to begin with. Really feel for you down there. Look, AP, you got to remember, I've said this multiple times. When Port Arthur happened, Australia always has had a very different culture to America in relation to guns. And when Port Arthur happened, it was effectively a way for the government to ensure dominion over that. As I've said multiple times, the government lets no tragedy go to good, never lets a good tragedy go to waste. So, at some point I will do an actual proper talk about what happened with Port Arthur and that sort of thing. But, yeah. Right. The latest measure has prompted an especially strong reaction as the country with a dark history of state repression, an estimated 30,000 people were forcibly disappeared during its brutal 1976 to 83 dictatorship, some thrown alive from planes on so-called death flights. Thousands were also tortured and hundreds of children kidnapped. Ministry security source said that the new unit will work under the current legislative framework, including the Personal Information Protection Mandate. It added that it will concentrate on applying AI, data analytics, and machine learning to identify criminal patterns and trends in the Ministry of Security databases. Yes, but here's the problem. Everything is defined by whoever's in power as to what is a crime. While certain things can be considered a crime one day, they may not the next, or whilst something may be completely legal one day, they may not be the next, and that's when it becomes a problem, in my opinion. I very much am of the belief, as we know, that the government needs to stick their fucking noses out of it. If I pay my taxes, it is purely to keep the bins emptied, to keep the roads working, and to keep... Well, no, not even the trains running these days, because they've already privatised it. Everything at the moment... Here, at least here in Victoria, everything, for the most part, that is important and vital has been privatised. You have ex post facto laws. No, what I'm saying is that if a government changes hands over from one day to the next, they may criminalise something that wasn't a crime the day before. No, you can't have ex post facto laws. You're not supposed to. At least nothing in terms of criminal law is allowed to be retroactive anyway. But anyway, I have well and truly digressed for far too long. I don't think I'll talk about the Brittany Higgins stuff tonight. I'll probably move on to that tomorrow, because we need to talk about Elon Musk and what's going on with Don Lemon and X. And I have somehow lost the damn page. I've got the complaint, but I don't have the news article. Shit. Okay, hang on. Lemon. Oh, there it is. Apparently I did have it open, just not... Now, I am going with the Variety article just to start with. Future dystopian nightmare incoming? Quite possibly. You make AI in charge of judicial branch. What about the other branches of government? See, see, the funny thing is, if there is ever anywhere where I believe that AI might be better suited, it would be to replace the legislative branch. Because A, you can plug it into machine learning as to how it should be written, but B, think of all of the money we would save. You could literally just have an app on your phone, a secure app that put out a recommendation to every person in the state and said, do you approve of a law that says this, 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 and this? And based on those votes, you could have the AI propose legislation, allow legal scholars to look over it, and then allow the general public to vote on it. You could almost entirely cut out government overnight. Just got your first ad. Yeah, sorry, I saw that one coming and I didn't get a chance to stop it. All right, now I'm going with as I said, I was not going with the Variety article, but we have that. It's called X. Look how well that works out. Well, it does at different times. I remember yesterday that the comments had everyone arguing. It was a skeletal meme reading Elon Musk is more African than Kamala Harris. Comments were wild. No comment. All right. Don Lemon sues Elon Musk and X, alleging fraud, breach of contract over cancelled content deal. Attorneys for former CNN journalist Don Lemon sued Elon Musk and X, formerly known as Twitter, accusing the tech mogul and his social media company of fraud, negligent misrepresentation, misappropriation of his name and likeness, and yes, I need to burp, and that is exactly why my voice changed. US is not and never was set up to be a democracy. Democracy is mob rule. Well, if you notice, Bal, what I said was that the legislature could be removed entirely. You've still got the judiciary and the executive, you'll notice. Misappropriation of his name and likeness, breach of express contract. Lemon's attorneys filed a lawsuit on August 1st in the Superior Court of California in the county of San Francisco. Copy the complaints there. Reps for X did not immediately respond to requests for comment, as they're not going to. That was an episode of Star Trek. It was also an episode of, oh shit, what was it called? The Orville. The one where you up and down vote whether or not someone gets executed. That's your idea. Vote which better sci-fi film, Aliens or Terminator 2. I suppose that's certainly one way of dumbing it down, yeah. Reps for X did not immediately respond. What a reply from the company's PR mailbox said, busy now, please check back later. Got something for you if you want a super patronizing member of Congress the other day. Sure, why not? The lawsuit comes from after Lemon entered into a content partnership deal with Musk and X in January to host an interview or show available exclusively on the X platform and create other original content. Musk cancelled the partnership in March 24 via text to Lemon's agent with the words, contract is cancelled, according to the journalist's lawyers. Lemon's lawsuit seeks unspecified monetary damages. According to the suit, Musk and X agreed to pay Lemon $1.5 million, with $200,000 paid up front within 3 business days and the remainder paid in quarterly installments under the pact. Per the complaint, the deal also included additional incentives. Well, I won't read through all that because we'll find all that out when we go through the complaint. Yes, pure democracy is communism. Yes. That's why there needs to be a balancing act. Lemon did not have a signed agreement with X. According to the lawsuit, Lemon had a phone call on June 16, 2023, with Musk, who asked Lemon to enter into an exclusive partnership deal with X. Per the suit, Lemon expressed reservations about entering into a partnership with X due to ongoing controversies surrounding the platform. In response, and to induce Lemon to enter into an exclusive partnership deal with X, Musk represented to Lemon that he would have full authority and control over the work he produced, even if disliked by the defendants, and there would be no need for a formal written agreement or to fill out paperwork. Well, no, that's just stupid. So there was no deal then. No, because a verbal agreement is enforceable. However, this is going to be difficult. I'll be interested to see exactly what they've said in the complaint. Because we know at the very least that there was negotiations, because Lemon came back asking for some ridiculous demands. So we know at some point that there was a meeting of the minds on certain things. And we will go through the definitions of what meets a contract and all that sort of stuff. Offer acceptance, consideration, all that shit. But I just want to read through this article first. Lemon's attorney, Carney Shegarian, said in a statement, the case is straightforward. Ex-executives used Don to prop up their advertising sales pitch, then cancelled their partnership and dragged Don's name through the mud. You don't have to be a genius to see the fraud, negligence, and reputational damage here. I call bullshit. Did I hear that 15 people were arrested in a sex trafficking sting in San Diego Comic-Con? I heard something like that. Yeah, Chris, I think that's probably more likely what happened. Rittenhouse announced what? I tell you what, like, politics brings out, like, just the worst, like, it brings certain facets of my world crashing down. Because there are so many people that, for their work in the past, I respected them, or I liked them, or I enjoyed their content. And now I'm seeing them just spouting the most ridiculous bullshit. And I can't look at them the same way. I can't enjoy their works, which is ironic because I'm one of those people that has always said that, you know, you need to be able to separate someone's work from their actions or their beliefs or whatever else. And just like... just disturbing. Anyway. What's that? Jim Jordan case against Alvin Bragg. I'll have a look at that in a bit then. We let Gianni beat the Boomers. Sorry, I had to vent. All good. Look forward to a day in court. Musk, who has more than 192 million followers on X, has tweeted negatively about Lemon reportedly since March 24, Lemon's attorneys alleged. Well, if there's no contract between them, he's allowed to do whatever he wants, particularly if it's in the form of an opinion. According to Lemon, Musk backed out of the content deal just a few hours after Lemon sat down with the tech mogul for a contentious interview of the new X show. Elon Musk is mad at me, he said in the video at the time regarding the Musk interview. He said, throughout our conversation, I kept reiterating to him that although it was tense at times, I thought it was good for people to see and hear our exchange and that they would learn from our conversation. I kept reiterating to him that although... well, hang on. Shit, I just read that twice. But apparently free speech absolutism doesn't apply when it comes to questions about him from people like me. Yeah, no. You can say whatever you like about him and about the interview. He doesn't have to provide you a platform to do so. That's a separate thing. Hey, Chicken Spread Marjorie in the house. Hello. He's not voting for Harris. His statement says he's riding in Rand Paul. Is it because of the girlfriend he got a while ago? God, I hope not. About the contract termination, X said in a statement in March, the Don Lemon Show is welcome to publish its content on X without censorship, as we believe in providing a platform for creators to scale their work and connect with new communities. However, like any enterprise, we reserve the right to make decisions about our business partnerships, and after careful consideration, X decided not to enter into a commercial partnership with the show. He's entirely entitled to see what the show's going to be like and then pull the plug, particularly if there was no formal written contract either. Musk, in a post on X in March, referring to Lemon with the lemon emoji, said Lemon is welcome to monetize the platform just like everyone else. What we aren't going to do is guarantee minimum payments to him as he was demanding, which would go beyond everyone else. Okay, now see, that to me says that yes, they're still in the negotiation phase, and that we did not actually have a formal contract. Thanks, Squid. Unfortunately, all Lemon wants to do is rehash the dying CNN business model, but on social media, which will do even worse here than it did on cable TV. Lemon was fired by CNN in 2023 after 17 years. He had faced allegations of inappropriate behavior towards women in the network, according to a Variety report. Ooh. Wait, Hartwood Films has been acquired by ITV. I'm going to open that for later. Sorry, that's just for my own personal curiosity. I don't think any of you guys are going to care if they're going to bring back Sherlock.
Aussie Ed has donated one gifted and says gifted one law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd memberships.
Thank you very much, Aussie Tank, and thank you for that. Congratulations to Squid, who got the membership. Okay, let's have a look at this complaint. So, we got Don Lemon plaintiff v. Elon Musk and X Corp doing business in California as X Corp, a Nevada corporation, and does 1 to 100 inclusive. Oh, does 1 to 100 inclusive. Lemon is suing Musk, X Corp, and 100 other people. Yeah, I love Sherlock too. Damn. Let's see what they had to say about this, shall we? Holy crap, they bothered to put in a... Okay. Alright, so we can already see here, we've got the demand for jury trial, we've got a prayer for relief. I only really care about the factual allegations, but I don't want to read 29 fucking pages of this. Plaintiff Don Lemon is an American journalist best known for his work with CNN from September 2006 until his tenure ended in April 23. Relatable and charismatic, Lemon's work defies genre, candidly exposing injustice and the resiliency of the human spirit. This is what I mean when I say it is nice to see that American...
Bush McFadden has donated $2 and says we aren't going to make it. People, I mean...
Honestly, Bush, also, thank you for the super chat. I will be perfectly honest. There was a moment this week where I sent Jeff a message and I said, just send the asteroid. Because honestly... Who's the moron attorney who took up this case? Well, I won't say that they're a moron because that would be defamatory. I will say that he is represented by 1, 2, 3... Sherrigan and Associates. 3 lawyers at Sherrigan and Associates. We don't get to do this sort of descriptive language in our pleadings. That's why I like reading through these things, because he can try and spin this in his... Oh, fuck off, Boosh. How was I supposed to know that off the top of the head when I'm legitimately waiting for an asteroid? Anyway. Lemon's been an exemplary journalist known for sticking his finger in the eyes of powerful people, including politicians and public officials, asking uncomfortable questions, and as a black gay man fighting to make diverse viewpoints heard. How did that play out for you? Just saying. Following Musk purchasing X, at the time known as Twitter, Musk fired top executives, laid off a significant portion of the staff, and reinstated banned accounts. I think what's that? If you say the word narrative, I'm unsubbing. Why would I say narrative? Surprised he didn't sue Musk for firing him for being rainbow. Hate when people fluff themselves like that. I'm not gonna make the joke. I'm not gonna make the joke. Oh, God, I want to make the joke. Joe said there's conflict between breach and fraud, I think. Okay. Yes, Don is black. Allegedly. I don't know. Following Musk purchasing Act, blah, blah, blah. In response, major companies suspended or decreased their advertising on X amid the defendants' ongoing struggle to retain advertisers. They sought to affiliate with reputable figures whose names, likenesses, and reputation they could use to piggyback off to retain advisors. He's literally trying to say that as a result of the agreement, the alleged agreement, the purported agreement between him and X, that X gained however many advertising sponsors. Unless you have emails that specifically say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to continue to back X now because they brought Don Lemon on." And even then, I honestly do not believe that there is enough of a causality there. I'm not making the joke, Duran. You knew exactly where I was going with that, and I'm not making that joke. Referring to the fact that Americans talk about the narrative changing the narrative, flipping the narrative, etc. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Lemon was a top prospect for X, and thus defendants saw an opportunity and sought to reach an exclusive partnership deal with Lemon following his termination at CNN at a time when Lemon was vulnerable. Fuck right off. After Lemon rightfully expressed reservations about agreeing to an exclusive partnership deal, given the ongoing controversy surrounding the platform, the defendants remained undeterred, going on to induce Lemon through false promises and representations about what would be expected of them and how much Lemon would be compensated to get him to agree, all the while concealing material facts. defendants did this to accomplish what they truly intended, to publicize a partnership between X and Lemon, and thereby associate and promote the X brand with Lemon's good name, likeness, identity, and reputation, to rehabilitate the defendant's reputation, promote the partnership of the defendant's association with Lemon on the defendant's website, social media accounts, and promotional events, and elsewhere to sell advertisers on X, and to otherwise profit and gain advantage commercially. Full fucking shit. He was looking for talent, yes. But to say that it was in order to boost his reputation by picking back off of yours is... like, you need to pull your head out of your ass. You can guarantee that Musk didn't? Yeah. Contrary to the promises and representations made to Lemon, once the defendants were enriched and gained the benefits of using his name, likeness, identity, and reputation, they reneged on their express agreement with Lemon and have failed to compensate him, citing false pretenses for their breach of the partnership agreement. This breach came after Lemon spent considerable time, effort, and resources in creating exclusive content for the defendants. You did one episode, and it was an interview with Musk. How much time did you have to spend prepping for that? Like an hour? That does not sound like he was thought of someone that special. Nope. Lemon had gone to great lengths and incurred hundreds of thousands of dollars of expenses in forming his own media company, collaborating with his agents based in California on what the new show would look like, seeking business proposals from numerous production companies, entering into a production deal with a content studio and a production company, creating a production studio where he could record his video content, purchasing production equipment, hiring a production staff, and assembling a production team. If you did all of that without an actual written agreement and a written engagement with X, you're a fuckwit in my opinion. John, no. I mean, they've said that there was no written contract, and although that there may be the elements of a verbal contract that may be enforceable, we'll go through that, because I'm curious. Surely they were smart enough to, I don't know, annex details of whatever was alleged. But I call bullshit on this already. Whose production of that interview was less than yours, Ozzy? Dude! Just stab it in and twist it, why don't you? Like, ow! Fuck! The defendants deliberately misrepresented what they intended to do. They knew that if they accurately represented to Lemon that the purpose of meaning the exclusive partnership deal was to use Lemon's name, likeness, reputation, and identity to rehabilitate their own reputation and draw in advertisers to the X platform, Lemon would have never agreed to do what he did, and the defendants would have been unable to utilize Lemon to keep up their ongoing efforts to woo advertisers. I doubt very much that they were using Lemon as a way to do any of that. No, I don't have high production. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that his was so much poorer than mine that I take offense to that, because at least I try. The plaintiff brings this action against the defendants for economic and non-economic and punitive damages to Civil Code Section 3294, prejudgment interest pursuant to the Code of Civil Procedure Section 3291, injunctive relief, costs, and any further relief this court deems appropriate. Damn. I did just notice that. The ads went in again. I don't know how to... I'm going to have to keep more of an eye on it, and... Okay, there you go. So for the next 10 minutes, there shouldn't be any ads. By the looks of it. Elon will have the stats to prove Don was a liability. Even if he didn't. Even if it was on the basis of that interview. If they were still negotiating... Don going and doing all this shit without any concrete, solid, like, engagement? That's all on him. And that just makes him a fucking moron. In my own personal opinion. My own honest opinion. Don't care about the parties, of which there are going to be many. Jurisdiction and venue, don't care about any of that. Factual allegations, okay. How far are we into? I'm just trying to work out where exactly I want to stop this, because I didn't want to read all 26 friggin' pages of it. Okay, so we'll go down to page 20. Guess Lemons is full of it as anything else. So we got 10 pages of this. Buckle up and settle in, people. Get uBlock Origin if they're bothering, and if you feel bad, Super Chat will become a member of your favorite content creators. Yes, by all means, people. If you have not already gotten a free membership, by all means, feel free to... Wait, hang on. Hang on. It's the 2nd of the month. It is the 2nd of the month. All right. People in chat, if you are currently a member, I do not want you to chat at all for the next 2 minutes. If you are not a member, please just write something in chat. I don't care what it is, okay? Because, hopefully... You still get ads if you're a member? It's payday. Fair enough. Fair enough. I should still be able to... Yes! Okay. You not a member, you have a member. Alright. A 1. A 2. Fire! E3, you sunk my battleship! Who got him?
Law, News and Laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd and #039, D has donated 5 gifted and says gifted 5 Law, News and Laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd D memberships.
Congratulations to John H, Carlos 24/7, American Dreamer, Renee Mignette. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Even I only got 4 out of that. Huh. Oh, Low Raw got the other one. There you go. Every 2 weeks, remember how much tax sucks. Yep, no, I got you for that. Looks like AP's the only one in chat that still doesn't have one. I'll give it 10, 15 minutes AP, and hopefully I'll get you on the second round. For those of you that don't know, provided you've got a certain level of members, a certain like tier membership, you can give away certain memberships. So the ones that I just gave away are not the same as the $5 memberships. There are like certain things that are for the full members compared to the free members, but you know, I gave away free ones, so congratulations.
Jacob
Whoa!
and #039, S Proud Madre has donated 1 gifted and says gifted 1 Law, News and Laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd D memberships.
And which is funny because Irish Rover got it, not AP. Dr. Anna George, hello, thanks for the commentary, you're very welcome. YouTube hates me. I've said some not so nice things elsewhere, I'm not too worried about it. Is it that, or is there a chance that you have a legacy brand account? I was actually playing around with whether or not I should switch over to a brand account today, so. Okay, let's get into the factual allegations, okay? Plaintiff, Don Lemon, the Lemon or the Plaintiff, I'm just going to refer to him as the Lemon, is an American journalist and trusted information source. Best known for his work with CNN from September 06 through to when his tenure ended.
Jacob and #039, S Proud Madre has donated 1 gifted and says gifted 1 Law, News and Laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd D memberships.
Congratulations to that dog in M. That's funny. I think AP either has gifting turned off or it's a brand account. Not a brand account that I know of. I've gotten memberships before. Okay, so you're just an unlucky bastard this time around. Sorry, mate. Okay. He's relatable and charismatic. His works defy genre, candidly exposing injustice and resilience of the human spirit. Right. At all times throughout his career, he's been an exemplary journalist known for sticking his finger in the eyes of powerful people, including politicians and public officials, asking uncomfortable questions, and as a black gay man fighting to make diverse viewpoints heard. Lemon reported and anchored on the scene for CNN in many breaking news stories, including numerous mass shooting incidents, the death of Freddie Gray while in police
has
custody.
Donated 1 gifted and says gifted 1 Law, News and Laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd D memberships.
And congratulations to Chad Moser who got that one. The death of Freddie Gray while in police custody, the shooting of an unarmed teenager, Michael Brown, in Ferguson, Missouri, the George Zimmerman trial, the Boston Marathon bombing, the deaths of Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson, and the inauguration of the 44th president of Washington, D.C. Anyone starting to think maybe this guy's just a bad rabbit's foot? Just, he's unlucky, covering all these things?
Squid's
taking a shot at
has
it.
donated one gifted and says gifted one law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd memberships.
And congratulations to Gruff Money. I've been warned by YouTube recently for my opinions, not sure if that's the reason for it. It's just becoming a thing now. Lemon reported for CNN's documentary Race and Rage, The Beating of Rodney King, which aired 20 years to the day of the tragic incident. Lemon's influence, direction, and execution as a journalist, that's poor wording there, has led to recognition with numerous awards. Dude, you were literally blowing your own penis in this instance. We don't care about your awards. Like, I get why you're doing it. You're doing it to say that you had such a high reputation that the only reason that Elon engaged with you was in order to be able to like, suckle at your teat and bring his own reputation up and pull in some advertisers. I get it. I understand why you're doing it. You still look like a dick, in my opinion, okay? Whoop-de shit, that's literally your job. Exactly. And yeah, I'm starting to think, Chris, that AP is on a naughty list. He did say. People like some creators and make a gifted tier 99 cents so it looks like it. You get gifted amazing memberships. I thought about that, Stinge. But memberships are about the only thing that I really actually grift on now. So, I needs the money. Gotten several 24-hour bans from commenting on Disney videos. Of course you have, Belle. But you're still green.
Aussie Etten has donated one gifted and says gifted one law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd memberships.
And congratulations to Morak 101. Who's definitely sticking his finger up. Oh, Porcelain Thunder! Lemon was named one of 150 most influential African Americans by Ebony magazine in 2009, named as one of 50 most influential LGBTQ people in the media by The Advocate in 2014, and in June 2019 was named as one of the Pride 50 trailblazing individuals who actively ensure society remains moving forward towards equality, acceptance, and dignity for all queer people. Somehow I doubt that any of that is the reason that Elon Musk agreed to have him on the platform and do a interview with him. Just saying. Oh, hang on, is that pickle coming undone? I've had this Van Holten's Garlic Joe pickle on my desk for like a week and a half now.
The Orc has donated one gifted and says gifted one law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd memberships.
See ya, Squid. Congratulations to Nikki to y'all. No, I said delay ads. There you go. Another 10 minutes off. Now you're all just taking shots trying to see whether or not you can get him a membership. You lady in the back. Hello. Lemon has deliberately and carefully promulgated, damn it, I can never say that word properly, a certain image and reputation which ensured that he would be taken seriously as a journalist. In October 22, Musk completed his move to purchase X, at the time known as Twitter. After the takeover, he fired top executives, laid off a significant portion of staff, and reinstated banned accounts. Yes, and at the time, it turns out, he said, oh, turns out that if you don't care about banning free speech and a whole bunch of other things, you can run a company like X with about 20% of the staff that they did have. In response, major companies suspended or decreased their advertising on X amid growing concerns. Ultimately, X's advertising revenues declined by 60% year on year through August 2023 as X struggled to make deals with major advertising brands. Yes, but again, when you cut the workforce by 80% and you're saving millions, literal millions of dollars, you can afford to take a hit to advertising
Aussie
occasionally.
has donated one gifted and says gifted one law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd memberships.
Congratulations to you lady in the back who got the membership. This is laughable. Can you commit perjury in a filing? No. So that's the thing. You can literally say whatever you want in a opening pleading, okay? defense, it's a little bit different when you're writing up the defense. Because actually, I don't even think he has to be subbed to get a membership, which is hilarious. It's a free throw. There's literally no defense to it.
Has donated 1 gifted and says gifted 1 law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd memberships.
Congratulations to Karen D that got that one. I was fired from a CNN job and all those fluff titles he gave himself. Yep. And he no longer had a fluffer. There, I said it. In my opinion. Did they change it? I know unsubbing removes your membership, which is why I didn't troll your numbers. No, I'm pretty sure that if YouTube unsubs...
Jem has donated 1 gifted and says gifted 1 law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd memberships.
Congratulations to SB who got that membership. Oh, this is funny. Oh, hang on. I'm going to try again.
Law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd and #039, D has donated 5 gifted and says gifted 5 law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd memberships.
God damn it. Congratulations to Suze P, Little Dog Chaz, General Tunes, Dirk Diggler. AP must have seriously pissed off YouTube. Oh, and Terry. Congratulations to Terry. SB, at least we're getting closer to the 2 letters. YouTube just wants him to cry at this point. Okay. The defendants sought out Lemon to enter into an exclusive partnership deal amid their ongoing struggle to retain advertisers. Amid the defendants' ongoing struggle to retain advertisers, the defendants...
Jacob and #039, S Proud Madre has donated 1 gifted and says gifted 1 law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd memberships.
Thank you very much for that one, Jacob's Proud Madre. Congratulations to Jedi Jess R. Aussie Tank AP, what's your PayPal? I'll send you the $6. Never seen most of these people getting memberships. Well, I'd say that's probably because at this point, most of the regulars already had memberships. This is a great grift. Oh, this is brilliant, and I'm not even having to do anything. See, and the funny thing is that at least I know that the people that are getting memberships have either been watching the channel or whatever else, because memberships are assigned based on how frequently you interact with the channel. Forever Not Me says, you're making me laugh this morning. Well, look, all you need is me to grift your stream. Yep. Well, yeah, that's sort of why I said to everyone else, that confirms that Hayden and AP are working together to grift memberships. No, see, the funny thing is, Bal, what I said yesterday before I ended the show is that at the end of the month, I'm going to do like a massive sub/memberthon because...
American Dreamer has donated 1 gifted and says gifted 1 law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd memberships.
Yep, AP, you're on a list. It has to be that now. Oh, you're very welcome, Little Dog Chaz. You're very welcome. Oh, that's funny. This is the Death Crane Machine meme. Was hoping for an AP, but got a Forever Not Me. Okay. I need to compose myself because I'm finding this filing laughable as it is, but that's just funny. Okay, amid the struggle, the defendants sought to affiliate with reputable figures whose name, likeness, identity, and reputation they could use to piggyback off to retain advertisers. Lemon was a top prospect, really, because he seems like a lemon to me. A gay black man with an excellent reputation and a household name, he was a perfect candidate to partner with to aid their dying advertisement revenue. Defendants saw their opportunity to plant their seed with Lemon in May 23, shortly after Lemon was terminated by CNN, and started publicly seeking an exclusive partnership deal with Lemon. Aware of Lemon's valuable state, Musk responded to Lemon's post on X announcing that CNN had terminated him. Yeah, he was having a joke.
Aussie has donated 1 gifted and says gifted 1 law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd memberships.
Congratulations to Pug Genie, who got that membership. He bashed Mr. Beast, didn't he? Where is he now? Why has no one else picked up the lemon? That's a damn good point. Have you considered doing a show on this platform? Maybe worth a try. Audience is much bigger. That was Elon being a dick and taking the piss, okay? That's called sarcasm and, like, having a sense of humor. This is not him, like, reaching out for a friggin' exclusive partnership at this point. On June 8, Musk again publicly encouraged Lemon to join the platform on X. It'd be great to have Mad Owl, Don Lemon, and others on the left put their shows on this platform. Again, that's not specifically seeking him out. During Lemon's June 16 phone conversation with Musk, Musk asked Lemon to enter into an exclusive partnership deal with X and commented to him, "I want you on the X platform. This is what you should be doing." Lemon expressed reservations about entering into a partnership with X due to the ongoing controversy surrounding the platform. In response, and to induce Lemon to enter into an exclusive partnership deal with X, Musk represented to Lemon that he would have full authority and control over the work that he produced, even if it was disliked by the defendants, that there would be no need for a formal written agreement or fill out paperwork. Okay. In my personal opinion, and as an attorney, I can honestly say this. Lemon, you're a fuckwit. If that is the basis of you spending so many hundreds of thousands of dollars to set up a show that you got one episode out of on X, and now you're not doing it because, oh, you don't want to provide content on X and make X money or whatever else, you're a fuckwit, in my personal, honest opinion. Yes, great success, and they're making that a very prominent part of this pleading as well. In November 23, the defendant's ongoing struggle to retain... hang on. This is in June. We're already in November. Defendant's ongoing struggle to retain advertisers magnified as major companies halted their advertising on X, including IBM, Apple, and Disney, which is irrelevant to your contract. Defendants were now in a rush to publicly announce a partnership with Lemon. On December 14, 2023, he attended an in-person meeting with Yacarino and Welts at Da Umberto Italian restaurant in New York City to discuss a potential partnership. During the meeting, Lemon told them that it was important for him to maintain his journalistic integrity and that the next step in his career following his termination at CNN was a pivotal one. Because of the ongoing controversy surrounding the X platform, he expressed that he was hesitant to enter into a partnership with X unless he had the defendant's full support. In response, and to induce him into a partnership with X, or at least to announce that partnership, they assured him that he had their full support, that Lemon would have full authority over his work, and should not have concerns about defendants imposing on his work and not agreeing to anything that he does. Arguably, at this point, by the plaintiff's own wording, there is no partnership agreement as at December 14, 2023. Exclusive partnership deal sounds like a drunk guy talking about the sure thing he had going at the pub one night. A little bit. Cool year to give out memberships. Haven't seen other content creators do that. Which is weird because... Oh, damn it. Sorry. I tried to prevent that one from going, but at least we got another 10 minutes without it. We all get them, I think. If you set it up, you get 10 free ones every month to give away. I just generally do it on the sly using a private stream, but because I do it like... And for anyone that doesn't believe that, by the way, just so that you can see it, I'll show you, because I keep it running. Or I did, actually. Shit, I think I might have closed it when I had that OBS issue, but I should still be able to get up. Unless it got deleted. Oh, fuck. I didn't even think about that. Oh, man. Might not be able to bring that up. Monthly member stream, don't meme me, member stream. Aww, I was keeping a list of everyone that got memberships that were free. Fuck. Sucks. Back to the Kamala ads. Sorry about that. Got ads on the PC but on the PS5. All right, well, look, I've just delayed the ads for another 10 minutes. Someone remind me in 5 minutes to reset the delay. December, following the meeting with Yacarino and Wheats, Lemon remained undecided about committing to the partnership with the defendants. However, the defendants would not be deterred. Defendants continue to make the same representations as Lemon, including that he have full authority and control over the work that he produced, even if disliked by the defendants. Moreover, the defendants started to induce Lemon by promising a revival of his career following his termination at CNN, knowing that he was particularly vulnerable and in a susceptible state. On December 24th, 2023, Yacarino told Lemon and his agent via text, "Getting ready to toast all of you many times." It's Christmas Eve. That could be misconstrued in many different ways. OBS, old boomer syndrome. Yeah, well, shit happens. So. That just sucks. Like, Oh, hang on. Unless it went to one of the... Oh, no, because that's private, so it doesn't have the... God damn it. That's actually really frustrating and annoying, but oh well. Okay. On December 30, Weiss told Lemon via text, "You're all set up for a lot of money this year. You're going to make money faster than you think." On December 31, 2023, Yacarino told Lemon via text, "On the doorstep of the new year and an epic partnership. Just wanted to reach out and assure you of my personal commitment. You're an incredible talent. Next, we'll make sure you have the global platform you deserve." Okay, so at this point, we're already at the 1st of January, and there is no formal agreement in place. They're just saying to him, "Yeah, okay, this is what we think will happen. Here's how much we're making big, bold, empty statements. We're making puffery statements saying that you'll be making a whole heap of money, and we think you're an incredible talent," and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so here's where I was sort of, yeah, all right, so he agrees to an exclusive partnership deal. What are the details of this, and can I nitpick this and tear it apart? On January 6th, "My job is to make sure you feel good in the company on the platform, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that happens. This will be an awesome adventure for both of us." Lemon agrees to an exclusive partnership deal based on the defendant's false promises and misrepresentations. After a series of negotiations, exactly how do you prove that anything that they've said so far has been a misrepresentation? Because a representation to be relied upon cannot be a puffery statement. And most of what's been said there so far, no, puffery, it's literally a legal term for a big, bold, empty statement that no one is supposed to take as a legitimate or accurate detailing of something. So, for example, if I say, "My name's Hayden Glaister, I'm an attorney, I am the greatest lawyer in the world. Hire me." That's puffery. I'm puffing out my chest. I'm stating to the world that I am the single greatest lawyer. It's not considered a representation, and you can't be, like, defamed for it. Yeah, kind of like a puff piece, exactly. It's not meant to be taken as a true statement. Treated him as an indie show and see what happens before offering him the exclusive contract then. Probably not a bad way for them to have gone about it, if I'm perfectly honest. Oh, right, I was just thinking, hang on, I haven't given her a treat in a while, and I just realised I'm out of treats. If I try to show an example of puffery, I think I'd be put on a list. Chris, I can't say that you're not already on a list. After a series of negotiations with Lemon's agents and Lemon's transparency about his hesitations, the defendants, as a means to induce Lemon to agree to his exclusive partnership deal with X, then represented to Lemon on or about January 8, 2024, that he'd receive a 1-year deal with X if he agreed to provide defendants exclusive rights to specific video content for a 24-hour period before it could be dispersed to other platforms, i.e. 1 piece of long-form video content that was not breaking news per week, and 10 pieces of short-form video content per month. Okay, we are starting to get to the formation of a contract. We have some terms here. Yes, exactly. Stingy's making a big, bold, empty statement there. In exchange, the defendants agreed to pay him $1.5 million guaranteed, being the $200,000 up front within 3 business days and the remainder paid in quarterly installments, with additional incentives including an option to renew the 1-year deal 2 times with the same terms at Lemon's sole discretion, 60% of the gross advertising revenue that X received from programmatic advertising generated from Lemon's content, performance threshold payments, $250,000 for reaching 4 million followers, $500,000 for reaching 6, $750,000 for reaching 8 million, and $1 million for reaching 10 million followers. $500,000 in advertising credits on the X platform for a period of 48 months. 10% of the net revenue that X receives once it exceeds $350,000 for content creators that Lemon referred to X. Shit, there goes my phone. And 6, that all content created by Lemon and its underlying intellectual property originated on or distributed on X was wholly owned by him. Was he banned from the platform? No. He is still free to do all of those things. He's just not receiving any money for it in return. Do the gifted membership gifts go to doggo treats? Yes, they do. I'm just literally out. I meant to grab some today and I completely forgot. So, short of me going out to the kitchen and seeing what's in the fridge that I can give her, I got nothing. So, sorry, peeps. Lemon justifiably relies on the false promises and representations made by the defendants. Where is it? Like, if this is all the case, if you're saying that this is all part of this alleged contract, this had better be in writing. There had better be a distinct email chain showing that these are the finalized terms of the contract. This is hilarious. Sounds like he's trying to get his name back in the media. Yep. That's what I'm really calling on this, if I'm perfectly honest. After the defendants persisted in ongoing material promises and representations referenced above, including that Lemon would have the defendants' full support, as well as full authority and control over the work that he produced, even if disliked by the defendants, Lemon agreed to enter this exclusive partnership deal with the defendants on or about January 8, 2024. Okay, but here's the thing. Did you agree to enter into the concept of an exclusive deal, or was there actual defined terms of said contract? Was there an offer? Was there acceptance of it? Was there consideration that exchanged hands? It doesn't look like it to me. To me, this looks like there was an agreement to agree. This looks like there was an agreement that he was willing to agree and enter into an exclusive partnership agreement with the details to be determined. That is not an enforceable contract, at least not here. Lemon entered into the exclusive partnership deal upon the reliance of the defendant's material representations and promises referenced above. Lemon would not have agreed to enter into this partnership deal if the defendants had, if he'd known the defendants would fail to deliver on those representations and promises. That's a crock of shit. When you enter into a contract, you understand that there is always a possibility that someone is going to fail to deliver on their representations. No contract is 100% guaranteed. That is why you have things like, force majeure, frustration of contract, any number of things that, like, been watching for a while, usually lurk in the back. Well, welcome, and thank you for actually popping into chat. Appreciate it. No contract is ever 100% guaranteed and ironclad. There are things beyond our ability to control that can always frustrate a contract. Now, saying that they've engaged in misleading and deceptive conduct, if anything, would render the contract void, in my opinion. Not, like, they haven't actually breached the contract. He's saying he wouldn't have entered into it. Well, okay, fine. Show me the damage, which you're alleging is hundreds of thousands of dollars. And what it was that you relied upon in doing so. At no point in this agreement did... I mean... There is enough of a causal nexus between the two, okay? If you say, if I say to someone, I'm going to pay you $1 million to post a show on YouTube, and we'll make sure it gets boosted up and all that sort of stuff, and then someone goes out and buys a bunch of stuff to do that show, look, potentially, you could see that. But at this point, I do not believe that there is a genuine contract that can be relied upon for that. I think that what has happened here is that Lemon has made a very stupid decision, and his lawyers should have been doing a better job. Lemon, at the time of the aforementioned promises and representations was made by the defendants, and at the time he took the actions herein alleged, was ignorant to the falsity of the defendants' promises and representations and believed them to be true. In reliance on these representations, Lemon was induced to and entered into the exclusive partnership deal with the defendants. Well, I mean, you're arguing that the representations that they made were false. At the time of negotiating the contract, they may not have been false. unless and until you can show me that the terms of the contract were defined and they are essential terms of this agreement, he hasn't breached anything. The representations were not allowed to be relied upon. And might I add, this is why you put everything in writing. And frankly, this one, I think, Elon, love you, mate, but in this instance, I'm going to take a pot shot at you and your legal team here too. Oh, damn it. Someone was supposed to remind me at the 5-minute mark to delay the ads again. There's a reason why written contracts generally include a clause that specifically says any and all prior representations, like this is the entire contract, and either party may not rely upon any representations made previously. Really that straightforward. You're arguing that word of mouth is good faith. Yeah, pretty much. Lemon was induced to enter into the exclusive partnership deal with the defendants. I argue that none exists. Had Lemon known the facts and the intentions of the defendants, he would not have taken such action. His reliance upon the defendants' misrepresentation and false promises was justified because, amongst other things, Lemon had known Yacarino to be a successful, well-respected media executive during her long tenure at NBC Universal and at Turner before agreeing to join X as a CEO in around May 2023. You're trying to say that you had a special reliance on the representations made by her because you knew her to be successful and well-respected? You're basically saying that because of her reputation, you expected to be able to rely on any representations made. Fuck off! There needs to be a special, what's it called? A special disability that's taken advantage of, or there needs to be a special reason as to why they are an expert in their field, and that their representations are able to be relied upon to the detriment of somebody else. That's bullshit. Just saying, oh well, I know that she's worked in the area for a significant amount of time, and therefore I took her at her word and relied on her representation. What a fucking joke. Oh, lovely. There's 78 people watching. Hello, everybody. If you haven't already, just double check whether or not you've hit the like button. I can see that 80 people have, but we've had a bit of turnover, so I'd really like to get it up over 100 likes if we can. I'm trying to keep it to that. But, yeah. Also, thank you to everyone watching over on Rumble. After joining X, Yacarino made representations directly to Lemon and representations to other groups in the presence of Lemon. You can't rely on those representations anyway. They weren't made to you. Talking yard work to a friend and he shows up one day and claims I owe him money for not going through with ripping up my yard. I now owe him money. Is not that far away from what we're talking about. Explaining the defendants were creating a platform that is palatable to advertisers, which in turn would lead to profitable ventures for both defendants and Lemon. Lemon was rushed by the defendants into agreeing to the exclusive partnership. Fuck off. You claim that you were initially approached in March of the previous year. How were you rushed? Shortly before Lemon agreed to the exclusive partnership deal on or around January 8, 2024, defendants informed Lemon that the terms of the offer would be withdrawn unless he attended the CES conference in Las Vegas, and that Lemon make a social media post announcing their partnership to the public on the same day. Based on the foregoing, including but not limited to Lemon's knowledge of Yacarino's reputation as a successful media executive, he agreed to enter into the exclusive partnership deal. How they've phrased that could mean one of two things. Were there actual terms of an offer that could be withdrawn, or would the open-ended offer at all be in terms of, is there paperwork, but he told me? No, Boosh, that's just it. Verbal contracts can be enforceable, but there needs to be evidence of them, and they need to meet the exact requirements of a contract. There needs to be the offer, the acceptance, the consideration for valuable consideration, which can be as little as an acorn, provided that no cops shoot anyone. And it needs to not be withdrawn, is what it basically comes down to. Now, at this point, he's already saying that, oh, well, in, what, January 8th, there was still the possibility that, there we go, I skipped ads for you. There was a possibility that that whatever the offer was would be withdrawn. Was it a full, proper offer, though? Or was it an offer to enter into an agreement? Again, an agreement to agree is not an enforceable agreement. Also, I should specify, obviously, my knowledge of contract law is all based on British common law that filtered down into the Australia and the US. I could be just as easily talking out of my ass. I'm giving my legal opinion based on this. Ozzy told me in DM that I can have the total control of his assets. Prove me wrong. No, because then you would need to provide the copy of the DM because you're saying that is an essential term of the contract. As a result of Lemon's justifiable reliance on the defendant's false promises and misrepresentations, he agreed to the exclusive partnership deal, promoted the defendant's business as to advertisers on his social media and to marketing events, and put his own reputation at stake by associating himself with the defendants. Yes, you do, Boosh, because that would be part of discovery. Meanwhile, defendants never intended to fulfill their representations and promises to Lemon. Instead, at the time when defendants were under intense criticism and losing advertisers, defendants only intended to publicize a partnership between X and Lemon and thereby associate and promote the brand with Lemon's good name, likeness, identity, and revered reputation in order to A, rehabilitate the defendant's reputation, promote the partnership with association, social media accounts, and at promotional events and elsewhere to sell advertisers on X, and otherwise profit and gain advantage commercially. No, Boosh, you can't. Because what you said is, in a DM, I said it. Therefore, you're saying that there is a written record of the agreement. When I met you in Vegas and you said it, now I can. No, because like I said, you have to be able to prove that there is some way of justifying that the contract was proper and actually enforceable. For example, part performance of the contract, doing something, which, to be fair, frankly, in this instance, that's what I'm really the nail may turn on, is whether or not Lemon can show that going out and buying all the production stuff and all that sort of stuff was him performing part of the contract. But again, it's whether or not the formation is appropriate. Sounds more like bouncing ideas and possibilities to him. Nothing is certain until you have it in writing. That goes for deal and employment or anything. Oh. Jeff was there blasted on gummies, so he'll vouch. I really hope that's not the extent of your witness, Flip Bush. Unless you can flip Jess and Flux. Okay. On or around January 9, 2024, Lemon attended the CES conference. There, Yacarino had Lemon join her with advertisers as she tried to talk up the exciting future ahead with the defendants because of their partnership with Lemon. In addition to announcing the new partnership between the defendants and Lemon in a publicly made post on X, the defendants announced 2 other partnerships with former US Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard and sports commentator Jim Rome. Moreover, in announcing X's new content partnership with Lemon, X stated that the Don Lemon Show will share the unique and honest voice in 30-minute episodes 3 times a week covering politics, culture, sports, and entertainment. Yeah, and then I'll just subpoena all your documents to make sure, so that you have actual proof as to whether or not you were in Vegas or not. You want to hope you don't have any credit card transactions or even like Fitbit data showing you're on the other side of the country. And I'm not disagreeing with you. This is why verbal contracts are so much more difficult to enforce. And more to the point, they're being very picky and choosy with the wording here. Like, delighted to announce new content partnership with Don Lemon for his project. That doesn't mean that a contract or anything was in place. Following the statement, Lemon made X's top trending topics for the United States, and as stated by Whites, was by far the largest announcement that X got. In addition, Lemon's well-known reputation, likeness, identity, and good name was used by the defendants for their commercial benefit as Musk and Yacarino welcomed Lemon to the platform in publicly made posts on X, which they're all well and good entitled to do. Have you actually entered into the contract at this stage? I'm not seeing any information in this that at this time any agreement was actually determined. Good name, that's a stretch. I just thought that Jeff had died. You'd subpoena his hard drive, but you'd have to sift through all this Photoshop nudes of Nancy. Ooh, Mr. K. Later that night, the defendants touted Lemon as their partner that would bring a diverse perspective and powerful voice to the X platform during an exclusive dinner with major advertising brands that were invited, including brand innovators Lenovo, Magic Leap, MediaLink, MNTN, Movers and Shakers, M. Taylor, NFL, Qualcomm, Range Media, Salesforce, and Stagwell. Exactly, Stingy, and I'll sue you for misrepresentation. The next day, Yacarino wrote to Lemon, "Thank you for joining us yesterday at the momentous dinner, and that was memorable and a big turning point. It marked a new chapter for X. Throughout the remainder of the CES conference, defendants continued to entice advertisers to return to X, relying on their partnership with Lemon, even tried hosting a big party for advertisers with Lemon as the focal point." Okay. Also, is Don just being a dick here? And yeah, he's talking himself up. Exactly. That's what I'm wondering. He's saying that the whole time that they were relying on the partnership with Lemon. I'm pretty sure, as he just specified, there were 2 other content creators that were supposedly going to be joining X that they were relying on. So tell me this. Riddle me this, Batman. Were they going around talking about all of the content creators equally, and is he just phrasing the complaint that he was the main source? Which, you know, Ozzy and I are going to review Aliens next Tuesday. No, depending on the timing, that might not be a bad idea, Bush. Between approximately January 24 and February 24, the defendants continued to use Lemon's name, likeness, identity, reputation in marketing and promotional activities on the defendant's website, social media accounts, and promotional events in meetings and elsewhere for the defendant's commercial benefit. And on or about February 28, 2024, X continued to promote and sell Lemon's name, likeness, identity, and reputation to advertisers by pressuring him to appear on a talent panel at the defendant's client council meeting. There, X presented Lemon as part of the ongoing efforts to woo advertisers in a meeting full of the brightest and most influential marketing leaders in the business. And after the meeting, Yacarino praised Lemon for playing a critical role in creating a transformational year for the defendants. Notice how at no point up until this, because we've already reached March of this year, where the interview was. At no point do they reference a signed contract, specific terms, even emails. You can't show me. Might have to schedule a Stingy show on the 9th of September. 9th of September. I'll see what I can do, Stinge. If that's your birthday, I'm happy to make some accommodations. And the funny thing is as well, Lemon's forgetting about all the other reasons why Musk may have been able to terminate the contract. It's not as if it's unilateral for Lemon to cancel it. There would have been common law reasonings and ways from Elon to terminate the contract anyway. And again, if none of this is in writing, it's not like he has to pay him out. If Lemon breached the contract, he could just straight up cancel it. Like, and that's all on the basis that at this point, any formal agreement was actually entered into. Lemon interviewed Musk on March 8, 2024 for the first episode of The Don Lemon Show. By that time, Lemon had spent considerable amount of time, effort, and resources in creating exclusive content for the defendants, all to his detriment. Lemon had spent hundreds of thousands of dollars creating his own media company. That's on you. Collaborated with his agents based in California on what his new show would look like, sought business proposals from numerous production companies, that's all on you. Entered into production detail with a content studio and production company, that's on you. Created a production studio where he could record his video content, that's on you. Produce production equipment. Purchase production equipment. That's on you. Hire production staff. That's on you. And assemble the production team. That's all on Lemon. Meanwhile, the defendants continue to lack any intent to fulfill their representation and promises to Lemon and fail to issue a single payment to Lemon despite his request pursuant to their express agreement. Okay. Where is the express agreement? Where have the terms of the agreement been formalized? Where have they been finalized? Where has it actually been agreed upon that a certain amount would be paid on a specific date? At this point, this is a massive shit show, and Lemon should have known better. But hell, Musk should have known better too. This is why you have lawyers draft contracts. This is some bullshit. Yeah, look, she may not be the most attractive person, Mr. K, but let's face it, she was good in Ghostbusters, and she carried the Alien franchise. So, using the terms express agreement, you're going to either have to provide me as evidence of an express agreement that there is communication in writing, or that these terms were properly agreed upon. Within one day of the interview, Musk sent Lemon's agent a text message stating that the that Lemon's partnership contract with the defendants is cancelled. Close to that time, Waits spoke with Lemon by phone and told Lemon the defendants were not going to pay him or follow through with the promises and representations made to him because there was no signed agreement, despite Musk previously representing to Lemon that there would be no need for formal written agreement or to fill out paperwork. To this day, the defendants have... Yeah, okay, fine. So you relied upon something to your detriment because you're a freaking moron. It's called buyer beware, dumbass. To this day, the defendants have not compensated Lemon pursuant to the exclusive partnership deal that the defendants induced Lemon to enter into. So clearly, it was an agreement to agree. The terms were never finalized. There's nothing in writing to say that anything specifically was agreed to. Show me how you detail the material terms of the contract. You like the Alien franchise? Oh, I love it. I've got 1 through 4 on Blu-ray along with AVP 1 and 2, although, you know, whether they're actually part of it's, you know. It was really just Prometheus and Covenant that I sort of was umming and ahhing about. There weren't enough tables at the not enough seats at the negotiating table, so Musk had to turn one of the stools upside down for Don and his friend. Oh, PT! We will look pretty good in Galaxy Quest 2. That's fair. I'll give you that one, Michael. Later, the defendants claimed they never entered into a partnership deal with Lemon, which demonstrates the fraudulent nature of their promises and representations that they had already entered into an express agreement. Well, clearly they hadn't. At this point, I would say you have an agreement to agree, and none of the terms were finalized. You can say it, Covenant was fucking awful. Oh, good. So I can just say that and get away with it? Excellent. As a result, the defendants provided false and inconsistent reasons for refusing to pay Lemon that completely contradict what Musk told Lemon's agent in his text message. Defendants deliberately misrepresent... See, okay, no. Prometheus was a good movie, but it was not a good Aliens movie. Like, it's a good Sunday afternoon movie, but take it out of the Alien mythos, however you pronounce it. Okay? And Covenant, I just couldn't with Covenant. The defendant's failure to follow through on their promises and representations demonstrate a reckless disregard for Lemon's rights and promises and representations made to him. Lemon and his reputation were damaged by the defendant's false promises and representations economically and non-economically. Bullshit. He should have finished up that story instead of rehashing Alien in the final 30 minutes of Covenant. Exactly. The first movie's excellent to this day. Fucking oath it is. Musk, Yacarino, and Wheats acting as managing agents in the course and scope of their agency or their employment with X or on X's behalf, and in the furtherance of the defendant's business interests with X's knowledge, consent, authority, and or ratification, intentionally, willfully, purposefully, and maliciously made these false representations. This is how they're trying to pull in vicarious liability to make sure that X is going to be liable through vicarious liability because X has the deepest pockets. Lemon made poor decisions and wants to blame someone else. I don't think it's even that. Everything about this is a win for Lemon. in my personal opinion. Sure, he's out hundreds of thousands of dollars that he probably would have spent anyway on a new production studio in order to produce something to put online, okay? To tide him over. This keeps his name in the news. I don't know why I said it like that. This keeps his name in the news, and this is effectively a win-win for him. What is he really out? Maybe 10 grand for the lawyer that drafted this and the filing fee. He's claiming for economic damages as a consequence of the defendant's conduct. The plaintiff has suffered and will suffer harm, including special damages and damage to his career. It is summed to be proven at trial. As a consequence of the defendant's conduct, the plaintiff has suffered and will suffer psychological and emotional distress, humiliation, and mental and physical pain and anguish in the sum to be proven at trial. Don, show me on the Elon doll where Twitter hurt you. Punitive damages. The defendant's misconduct constitutes oppression, fraud, and or malice under the California Civil Code 3294, and thus entitles a plaintiff to an award of exemplary or punitive damages. The defendant's conduct was committed with malice within the meaning of the California Civil Code. Okay, I need to look this up because I want to know exactly what they're talking about there. If that's malice how I think it is. I think they're probably stretching. The California Civil Code 3294, a plaintiff may be awarded punitive damages if it is clear and convincing, if there is clear and convincing evidence that the defendant is guilty of oppression, fraud, or malice. I think you're going to struggle with oppression. Fraud, I still don't like it because, as far as I'm concerned, this is an agreement to agree and is therefore unenforceable. And representations are exactly that. They're representations. They're not strictly facts. Malice, he may be able to argue if he can prove that the only reason that they entered into the negotiations with him, and I'm not even going to call it an agreement now because it's not. It was negotiations for him. And if anything, the first episode was a test pilot, which should have been part of the negotiations. If they can prove, he would need to prove that Elon and Twitter engaged with him for the sole purpose of another benefit to themselves. And that's sort of where he's going with the unjust enrichment as well. So, single biggest detriment to Lemon's career is Don Lemon himself, in my opinion. The interview shows good faith, not malice. No, so, again, Chris, that's where you're probably getting the definition of malice confused. Malice is not when you do something with bad intentions or bad... Well, I mean, it's sort of bad faith, but it's not when you're doing something purely to injure somebody. It's when you're doing it for an ulterior purpose or you're doing it for... Hang on. Actually, let me make sure that I'm doing malice in California right. Because it may mean something different. Yeah, malice is a legal term which refers to a party's intention to do injury to another party. Malice is either expressed or implied. For example, malice is expressed when it is manifested in deliberate intention to unlawfully take away the life of a human being. I don't think they're going to be able to prove malice in that, honestly. In addition to, or alternatively, the defendant's conduct is being committed with oppression, which is bullshit. To say that the actions against the plaintiff were despicable and subjected the plaintiff to cruel or unjust hardship, or that it was done with fraud, and they're asking for attorney's fees. Yeah, so so Michael, that's slightly different in terms of, so malice in defamation tort is a little bit different too with fraud, basically. Lemon failed when Musk said the only reason I agreed to this interview was because you're on X. Yes, like a pilot of a series. It's exactly what it is, Kate. So they're claiming for fraud against all defendants, including Doe's 1 to 100. I think that's hilarious. That is a massive shotgun approach, just throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what hits. Not only are they suing X, Musk, Yacarino, and Wheats, he's apparently suing 100 other unnamed individuals. Why have a solid definition? I know, right? They're suing roughly 100 other individuals who are as yet unnamed, who either work for X or in some way assisted in the negotiations and all this sort of shit. So he's going for negligent misrepresentation. So basically saying that any of the representations that they made to him, they did without a care for him and that they owed him a duty of responsibility. Defendants intentionally made false representations or promises, knowing that he would rely on those false representations or promises and enter into the partnership deal, which they didn't. At this point, as I said, agreement to agree at this point, defendants' representations were in fact false when they were made. You can't prove that either. Misappropriation of name and likeness. I want to see, this one's going to take a little bit longer because I'm going to read through this. I want to see exactly how he's claiming that they, that's a different type of malice, but you're not in the wrong ballpark, Stingy. Defendants use Lemon's name, likeness, photo, reputation, and/or identity to promote, market, and advertise their products and services without Lemon's authorization or consent through fraud, or without promised consideration. Well, that's a crock of shit. Defendant specifically used his name, likeness, photo, representation, and/or identity to rehabilitate their own reputation, market and advertise the partnership and their association with Lemon on the defendant's website, which, if there was an agreement to agree, and you said, yes, you can do it, then that's not the same as misappropriation. Otherwise, profit and gain advantage commercially. Any release, license, consent, or authorized purporting to the defendant's use the likeness is unenforceable due to unclear terms and a lack of mental capacity and competence, mistake, undue influence, or the defendant's unclean hands. Way to shoot yourself in the foot. Starting to sound like a frivolous lawsuit. This sounded like a frivolous lawsuit from like the first 3 pages in my opinion. So, what he's saying is that any license, agreement, release, or authorization which would have been contained in this agreement that he had is unenforceable due to unclear terms, a lack of mental capacity or competence, a mistake that he made, or undue influence, all of which would render the contract unenforceable to begin with. And then he basically turned around and saying, well, because they acted in bad faith, they've got unclean hands, and therefore the court should just throw it out anyway. The defendants did not have license, authorization, or consent to use Lemon's name, likeness, image, photo, reputation, or identity when it did so without his authority or consent, which was improperly based upon fraud and has operated to undermine his careful career planning. Oh, fuck off. They used it for a commercial benefit. The acts or omissions were authorized and ratified by the defendants. Lemon is a nationally recognized journalist who is paid to endorse products and services through advertisements, and through his association with such products and services, Lemon was deprived of the monetary value of having his name, likeness, photo, reputation, and identity used by the defendants, and therefore was deprived of the money to which he's entitled. Rack off. Because I promise you that if the agreement that you allege was breached was in place, all of this is considered under it, and trying to argue that there is, I don't know, part performance of the contract and therefore he should be paid for it is a crock of shit. Sounds like he's trying to sue based on the fact that he was trending. Yep. Not agree with them not giving him a contract. Yep. As a proximate result of the foregoing, he suffered actual damages including emotional distress, loss of reputation, standing in the community. That implies you had a reputation and standing in the community. Never seen Lemon advertise a product or service. The defendant's conduct was committed intentionally in a malicious, fraudulent, despicable, and/or oppressive manner, entitling Lemon to punitive damages. That'll be the same thing, misappropriation of name and likeness. Breach of express contract. Defendants, through their employees and agents, entered into an express agreement. Well, from the sounds of it, they didn't. Show me the time and place that the express agreement was entered into. That was closed on or around... Oh, sorry, you're saying that was closed on or around January 8. Well, hang on, didn't you say that you would only enter into such an agreement... Didn't you say that you entered into it under undue influence because they said that an offer to enter into the agreement was going to be withdrawn? And again, your premise is flawed. The basic premise, even what you have said in this, is that the offer to enter into such an agreement was going to be withdrawn. Therefore, they were going to withdraw the offer to agree to agree. Lemon and the defendants, through their employees and agents, made mutual promises of consideration pursuant to this agreement. Lemon performed all duties required of him under the agreement. Oh, did you just? Did you just? I think you'll struggle to prove that one in court. Defendants falsely claim that the contract was cancelled and/or the express agreement was never agreed to, violating the express agreement they had with Lemon. As a proximate result of the defendant's willful breach of the express contract, he suffered and continues to suffer special and general damages, including losses of earnings and benefits in a sum according to proof. Imagine a world where Elon Musk hadn't purchased Twitter, all the big social platforms would have been under leftist censorship and agenda, quite possibly. Restitution and unjust enrichment. So basically, this one I'm not going to have to worry about reading through. Basically, what it's going to be is that as a result of them reneging on this express agreement and the actions that he took during the period of time when he allegedly was providing them with his likeness and reputation and everything to promote their own, they raised however much money out of Wait, you actually fell down the stairs, Boosh? Are you serious? Do you need someone to dial 911? Be safe. As a result of the illegal and wrongful conduct, the defendants have been and will be unjustly enriched at the expense of Lemon if they are allowed to retain the income, profits, gains, benefits, and other monies that the defendant illegally and or wrongfully obtained at the expense of Lemon. How the hell do you prove what the current level of boost is? Lemon's entitled to restitution from the defendants. The defendant should be required to disgorge and return to Lemon all income, profit, gains, benefits, and other monies that the defendants illegally or wrongfully obtained at the expense of Lemon. Basically, what he's saying there is, hey, any advertising money that came in as a direct result of their engagement with Lemon, which would be extraordinarily difficult to prove, should be handed directly to him, including any preceding stuff that flowed on from that. Good fucking luck. The amount of this unjust enrichment exceeds the jurisdictional minimum to be determined at trial. So, finally, we're at the end. Prayer for relief. For general and special damages according to proof, so to be proven at trial. Exemplary damages to be proven at trial. Punitive damages, because what they did was wrong and they must be punished. Hang on.
Elon's been a bad boy and must be punished.
Reasonable attorney's fees, the cost of the suits incurred for declaratory relief in the following matter, and for injunctive relief and equitable relief, and for such other and further relief as a court may deem just and proper. Additionally, the plaintiff, Don Lemon, hereby demands a jury trial on the causes of action set forth herein. The amount of the demand exceeds $35,000. Tony Sherigan, Esquire, attorney for the plaintiff, Don Lemon. Lemon's failed at so many TV anchor positions, has he? I wouldn't know. Honestly, prior to this going on, prior to the stuff with X, I had no idea who the fuck he was. So, like, one another joke of a lawyer thing, sent you a 5-minute thing from Congress condescending on how she speaks if you want to keep going. Look, I've probably got... I'm on the top of the hour at 1 a.m. my time. But you know what? There's another 43 minutes into the hour, so 17 minutes and I'll be 3 hours. So you know what? Why not? Let me see what you got, Stinge, because you sent a couple of things through. Do we have a proof of life on... I think Bush is actually gone. Oh, yeah, okay. Bush sent me photos. Not of him falling down the stairs, of the other thing. Of what he actually did. Alright, so what's this? Jim Jordan and...
Yeah, we want to thank everyone.
Lays out the case against Alvin Bragg. Lawfare at its worst. What's this? From the 10-minute 30 mark. You know what? I'll just play it.
Everyone for joining us. We apologize for the delay. The Democrats have an important caucus they're at, or conference they're at. We had some technical difficulties here. We'll now, Chair now recognize himself for an opening statement. Alvin Bragg's prosecution of President Trump is lawfare at its worst. The New York County District Attorney's Office began investigating President Trump in 2018. Southern District of New York months later concluded its investigation into the payments by Michael Cohen and determined no charges should be brought against President Trump. While this was going on, Alvin Bragg was running for the job. While on the campaign trail, Mr. Bragg boasted about the number of times he had already sued President Trump. In January 2021, Mr. Bragg stated, "I'm the candidate in the race who has the experience with Donald Trump," close quote. He said that it'd be hard to argue with the fact that any case against President Trump would be the most important, most high-profile case. Mr. Bragg won and took office in January 2022. A few weeks after taking office, he told one of his prosecutors, Mark Pomerantz, quote, he could not see a world in which he would indict President Trump and call Michael Cohen as a prosecution witness. That's right, after campaigning on going after the former president, Bragg gets into office and realizes the case against President Trump is ridiculous. That is why the Southern District of New York didn't bring it. It's why his predecessor, Cy Vance, didn't bring it. Why did Bragg change his mind? Mark Pomerantz, Special Assistant District Attorney, resigned in protest, and he and his fellow Assistant District Attorney, Kerry Dunn, leaked their resignation letter to the New York Times. After that, the left began the pressure campaign on Alvin Bragg, and suddenly the zombie case was resurrected. One of the first things Alvin Bragg did was hire Matthew Colangelo, a top official in the Biden Justice Department who had a history of taking on President Trump and his family's businesses. It's also interesting to note who Mr. Colangelo listed as his references when he applied for the job at the Justice Department. He listed Tom Perez, former DNC chair, and Jeff Zients, who is now President Biden's chief of staff.
That is a hell of a five head in the background.
The head of the DNC and the Biden White House chief of staff, those were his references. That's the guy who went to work to be the lead prosecutor on the case against President Trump. Alvin Bragg, Matthew Colangelo picked their target, searched for a crime, and then they prosecuted President Trump. The partisan DA that campaigned on going after President Trump, whose newly hired lead prosecutor for the case also had a history of taking on President Trump, also had their case in front of a partisan judge. A judge who donated to President Biden, who imposed a gag order on President Trump, who told the jury they didn't need to reach a unanimous decision, and prevented one of our witnesses today, Mr. Smith, an expert on campaign finance, from giving real testimony to the court. Today, Mr. Smith will be given
Jacob
an
N.
opportunity to go to Congress and tell the country what
039
he
S. Proud Madre has donated $5 and says gotta run. I hope everyone has a great day, night, and weekend.
Thank you so much, Jacob Proud Madre. It's great to see you back. I have missed you, and I'm glad that you're well. Keep in touch, okay?
He wasn't permitted to tell the court, what he wasn't permitted to tell the jury. Remember, Bragg and Colangelo bootstrapped charges that are normally misdemeanors to some underlying crime to make the charges a felony. But what was the underlying crime? Prosecutors didn't reveal that until after the trial began. Mr. Colangelo, in his opening statement, accused President Trump of violating the Federal Elections Campaign Act. But the problem is, in the plain reading of that act doesn't support the indictment or the verdict. As Commissioner Smith stated, allowing this prosecution to go forward and the ultimate jury decision threaten the enforcement procedures established by Congress under the act and stretch the meaning of the statute in such a way as to threaten due process of law. Although Judge Merchan wouldn't permit the leading expert on campaign finance to provide this testimony, he did let someone else speak in the court on this issue and others, Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen, a convicted perjurer, someone even his former lawyer said you couldn't trust. Michael Cohen, who lied to Congress, lied to the FBI, and lied to the court. It's not often you have a witness that can lie to all three branches of government and then become the star witness in the prosecution of a former president. But that's exactly what took place in New York. It is clear Manhattan District Judge Juan Merchan's decisions, guided by political bias, unfairly prejudiced the outcome of the trial and violated President Trump's due process rights. Bragg's prosecution of President Trump, with the help of Judge Merchan, opened the door for politically motivated prosecutions, and it will not be easy to undo the damage that's already been done. As we have seen, other ambitious prosecutors have followed Bragg's lead and pursued politically motivated indictments against the former president. Rather than debate political opponents on substance, the Democrats' strategy to win the 2024 election is through the use of partisan, lawfare tactics. These politically motivated local prosecutions raise substantial federal interest and potential collusion between federal and state authorities. And that is precisely why we are here today. Alvin Bragg's prosecution of President Trump was personal, it was based on politics, and it was wrong. Professor Smith, in your opening, in your written testimony, you said that the lead prosecutor, Matthew Colangelo, in his opening statement in the court, accused President Trump of violating the Federal Election Campaign Act. But the FEC didn't bring charges. I think you've said a couple times. Is that true?
That's correct.
And the Department of Justice didn't bring charges.
That's correct.
And if President Trump's campaign had paid for it, it wouldn't have been reported until after the election. Is that right?
That's correct.
And did President Trump's campaign have the money to pay for it?
Yes, they had plenty of money.
They had like $7-8 million still on hand on election day, I think, right?
Yes.
And certainly President Trump had the money to pay for it. He's not.
Yes, he'd already spent over $60 million on it.
Yeah, he had. So they'd already done that. Was it a political contribution?
No, I do not believe so for reasons stated. I can elaborate on those now, but you know.
Not only do you not believe so, their star witness didn't believe so. Michael Cohen said he was working clear back in 2011 to deal with this Miss Daniels making the allegations and wouldn't make this public, and he was doing it for other reasons. Isn't that correct?
Yes, they had been concerned about Daniels for a long time and keeping her quiet.
So the obligation wasn't caused by President Trump's candidacy for President of the United States. Is that right?
No, it was not.
Okay, Mr. Fahey, in your written testimony, you said one of the most alarming aspects of the case is
Mr.
that the
F,
fraud, quote, fraud, did not involve
funny.
anyone losing money or even being harmed in any way. To the extent that the ledger entries were inaccurate, they were entered into the books of a private company that understood what they were for. It is unheard of for a fraud case to be brought where no losses were suffered. So there weren't any losses in this case at all, were there?
Yeah, that's what makes this so remarkable. And just, I can't even imagine someone bringing a fraud case to the United States Attorney's Office where nobody lost money, there were no victims, and no one was worse off at the end of it. It just makes it laughable, even before you get to steps 2 through probably 20 that make this case really absurd to have been brought to begin with.
It wasn't a contribution. If it was a contribution, it wouldn't have been reported until after the election, and no one suffered any losses, and yet they bring this charge against President Trump. I find that just amazing. If that's not political motivation, I don't know, because what other motivation could there be?
It's really almost inarguable at this point that the motivation for this case was political. It's really, I've never heard a serious argument that it should have been prosecuted otherwise. I know Mr. Wu might have one, but I just haven't heard that, because it seems political from the inception all the way to the end.
Yeah. Wasn't a contribution, wouldn't have been reported even if it was, if they paid it out of the campaign. No one suffered loss, yet there was some kind of conspiracy to impact an election. But that's not the worst of it. The worst of it is they didn't tell the defendant what the crime was he was being charged with. Isn't that right, Judge?
That's correct. Right from the indictment, Donald Trump was charged with falsifying business records. To elevate that crime to a felony, he had to be concealing or committing other crimes.
When did the defendant in this trial, in this case, learn what he was being charged with?
At the end of the trial.
At the end of the trial. That's not supposed to happen in America, is it,
I'm
Judge?
sorry, what?
No, that is illegal.
So not only did he not know what he's being charged with, at the end of the trial, when he learned what it was, the judge also told the jury, oh, you don't have to be unanimous in finding what we just discovered the charge actually was.
That's an extraordinarily egregious error to tell a jury they don't have to be unanimous. And I might add, by the way, those charges, the 3 additional ones, were never specified. They're described generally, so we don't know what exactly the jury thought was the illegality that was committed by Donald Trump. We have a very inspecific verdict.
Campaign finance expert says it wasn't a contribution, and even if it was a contribution, if they treated it as a contribution, paid it out of the campaign, it wouldn't have been reported until after the election, so there's no conspiracy to influence the election.
Underlying charge to make all these nonsense felonies wasn't revealed until the very end. See, I thought it was bad enough that they were bringing this case in the first place. Now you're telling me that the indictment wasn't fully revealed until at the end of the trial? Yeah, that's sort of where I'm sitting, Jem. That's not how it works. If anything, that would also infringe upon the right to confront your accuser, because you're being accused, but you can't confront an accuser if you don't know what you're being accused with. They released it after the verdict?
No one suffered any harm or fraud in the initial case, former prosecutor tells us, and the judge tells us that the defendant didn't know what he was charged with until the end of the trial, and the judge gave instructions to the jury. Never mind the fact the judge should have recused himself, which you point out in your written testimony, Judge. The judge didn't tell the jury, or told the jury you don't have to be unanimous.
That's some
but
bullshit.
The real thing here is the opportunity cost. And you raised this in your testimony, Mr. Fahey. The opportunity cost. When Alvin Bragg did the day one memo, says we are not going to charge all these felonies, we're going to bring them down to misdemeanors and let the bad guys roam the streets of New York. How that squares with what happened here, that to me is the real issue. That's the issue that most Americans see, like, we're going to do this to the former president of the United States, meanwhile, take felony charges against really bad guys on the street and bring them down to misdemeanors. That's the opportunity cost here, I believe, in Manhattan. You get the last word, Mr. Fahey.
Yeah, exactly. When you're letting carjackers out on bail or illegal immigrants that assault police officers aren't getting prosecuted, but this is the way you're using your time, in addition to the fact you run on a soft on crime policy and then you do take the most creative, aggressive approach to this crime, it's hard to argue it's anything other than a political motivation.
I'm inclined to agree with that, personally.
The gentlelady from Texas.
Okay, I got a lot of ground to cover.
Okay, now according to Stingy, this is where things fire off. So I'm just going to sit back and watch the fireworks, but I'm going to first pour myself a drink because apparently this gets spicy. I'm starting to think that a Friday night probably could just be like a half laid-back drinking stream. We're just covering over stuff and just, you know, I added like a shot to the Coke or something like that. I'll see how I go because I don't want to get back into the whole shots for money thing, but sometimes you just want to sit back and relax. Did I say spicy? I meant spicy.
I do want to clarify, Mr. Fahey, when you consistently talk about NY or New York crime, you're speaking in an opinionated stance. You're not speaking from a place of fact, correct?
No, I'm speaking from a place of facts.
Okay, well, let me clarify for you. Thank you so much. I'm reclaiming my time.
Okay,
let me clarify for you
that
NYPD puts out reports. And in April, it said overall index crime across New York City dropped another 4.9%. As it relates to May, the report says overall index crime across New York dropped another 2.4%, and June's report hasn't come out. I would ask for unanimous consent to enter this into the record. Now, moving on, I just want to level set because I feel as if some people don't understand how government works, and I don't know how they got to Congress. So, Mr. Wu, I'm going to need you to help me out because I don't know that I trust that other people will know the answers to these questions. Number one, how many branches of government do we have?
3.
3. Okay, sounds good. So, can you name them for me?
Legislative, judiciary, and executive.
Very good. Okay, so currently, I think that I serve in the legislative branch. Would you agree?
I agree.
Okay, fine. Can you tell me when somebody goes to court, such as a criminal convicted of 34 felony counts, state court in New York, would that be the legislative people or judicial people?
Well, it's really the executive that's prosecuting, and then it's within the judiciary to run the trial properly.
Okay, very good. So, judiciary. So, typically, if someone has an issue with, say, what happens in court, do they then somehow hop from state court all the way to the federal legislative branch, or is there a different process in which you are supposed to be able to explain any issues you may have?
The process would be the judicial appellate process, holding aside the issue of state versus federal.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So normally people don't get convicted on a state level and somehow end up litigating the issue on the federal level in the legislative branch. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So something is different about what's going on today. I just wanted to clarify because I thought I was living in the upside down for a second. Now,
bitch, you are not, you did not just say that shit. You are not living in my upside down. You are not in Australia. Fuck right off. There are multiple reasons why it winds up in the federal legislature. For example, I don't know. It's an allegation of political interference in a fucking federal case. She meant Stranger Things. I know, I'm just being a smartass, okay? Let me take you back to kindergarten and speak to you like a little child. Yeah. I see now what you mean when you said condescending, and apologies for... I did say that I wasn't gonna comment in the middle of this, but, woman, are you fucking kidding me? You're saying that the state court system should have immunity from review and, scrutiny because it's a state case, despite the fact that it involves federal shit? Yeah, no, not a chance. Sergeant Upside Down, you're down under. Your face had me.
I want to move on and talk about how someone is prosecuted currently, because under Project 2025, we'll get there. There will be a different way to prosecute people. But currently,
Just had to throw that one in
my
there.
understanding, and I only kind of went to law school, passed a couple of bar exams, and practiced on the state and federal levels, but just clarify for me.
So that means you're gonna know that you're talking shit out your ass? You need a bigger like button. Thank you! The fuck counter will be through the roof tonight. Yeah, that's why I knew it was gonna be a big night, and I decided, no, I'm not gonna. She's doing well enough for pocket money for the moment. I don't need the swear jar tonight.
When someone goes in to be prosecuted, is it, say, the President of the United States that somehow becomes the state prosecutor in New York?
Oh, absolutely not.
Absolutely not, because he's the executor, huh? That's that other branch.
Correct.
That's the, okay. All right, so you have this prosecutor, and in this...
Did that bitch just say the executor? Oh, wait, no, it would be for the executive branch. For some reason, forgive me, I work in wills and estates. Automatically, my mind jumped to the other meaning of executor. Never mind.
In this case, it's Alvin Bragg, who was duly elected, correct?
Correct.
Not appointed by the president, correct?
Ooh,
duly
let
elected
the dogs
by the
out.
citizens
Woof,
in his jurisdiction,
woof,
right?
woof.
So he's elected, and usually there's some sort of an investigation that takes place, correct?
Prior to his election?
No. With a case, I'm sorry.
Yes,
I've
correct.
moved on.
Yes.
All right. So the very first part of a case is that we go through an investigation. After that investigation, then the prosecutor usually has what we would consider to be some sort of prosecutorial discretion as to whether or not they want to go forward, correct?
Correct.
All right. And then they use that discretion, but then when it's somebody that is facing a felony amount of time, which is usually in most states over a year, then they have to present it to a grand jury. Is that right?
That's right.
Now, a grand jury is comprised of citizens, correct?
Correct.
U.S. citizens from that area, correct?
Right.
Okay, so they have to come to the conclusion that they are going to issue what we call a true bill, correct?
Correct.
And I will just state for the record, grand juries are bullshit. As it is said, a grand jury would convict a ham sandwich. Sorry, would indict a ham sandwich. The fact that you can have a prosecutor stand in front of any number of people, specify their entire case, and have to be taken at face value as all true for the purposes of whether or not someone should be indicted is ridiculous in my opinion. There are significantly better ways in order to be able to do that. A committal hearing, for example, probably the best way to do it. Let a judge decide whether or not there is a sufficient reason to move the case forward, instead of wasting so many people's fucking time. It is not the position of a layman to decide whether or not a case has sufficient merits to move forward. It's just not. A jury of your peers is appropriate during the trial and at sentencing, not in determining whether or not a crime is there is initial probable application that a trial should take place. Megan said the same thing on Tug's video today. Hey, what do you know? I'm intelligent. I do occasionally know what I'm talking about, people. So, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Double check whether or not you're still subscribed. 530... Damn it, the ads. 530 people have poked their head in on this stream at any given time. There are now 71 concurrent viewers. I have no idea how many of you are right from the start or have jumped in and out and whatever else, but... It's clear why she's a miss, not a miss. Oh, I'm not going to go there, PT. When she's done talking, we need to break out the clip from Billy Madison. I don't have it. Probably need it, though.
All right, so then we have an indictment. And then there's pretrial motions, there's pretrial hearings, all kinds of stuff, right?
Right.
All right. And then ultimately, depending on where you are, you have the opportunity to say, hey, I want a jury trial, correct?
Correct.
And a jury trial is comprised of U.S. citizens.
Is she seriously going there with this? I thought, it was my understanding that there was not a possibility that he could have had a jury trial on that one. Oh, do we get over 100 likes? Oh, we did too. 108. Lovely.
Citizens again, right?
Right.
Okay, very good. All right, so can you tell me so far if all of this took place in the case in New York?
Yes, it did.
Oh, okay. All right, so you get to trial. Now, when you show up to trial and you're facing a felony
You're
amount
still
of
manning the
time,
process?
as a
Yeah.
defendant, are you not entitled to an attorney?
Yes, you are.
And your attorney is allowed to pick the jury. They're allowed to present
Wait.
evidence.
Has donated one gifted and says gifted one law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd memberships.
That one went to Hardy Harmonica. Congratulations. No worries, Kate. Have a good night. It's getting late too, so I'm going to watch this and then I'm going to bow out, I think. It's almost 1:30 in the morning here, so. I completely forgot what I just objected to.
Jill Ems has donated $2.00 and says money for you being intelligent.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jill. Appreciate it. FTSIO. Dude, it's 1:30 in the morning. Don't give me acronyms aside from FAFO. Choose your lawyer. No, I don't think that's what it was. Hang on.
Felony amount of time. As a defendant, are you not entitled to an attorney?
Yes, you are.
And your attorney is allowed to pick the jury.
No, that's what it was. Picking the jury. No, your attorney does not have the opportunity to pick the jury. An attorney, on both sides, gets a certain number of peremptory challenges and the opportunity to strike for cause as to who is appropriate to go on the jury.
AP has donated one gifted and says gifted one law, news and laughter with Aussie Overlaw'd memberships.
Thank you, AP, and congratulations to Kate, who has just gone to bed. Got my earbud out because I couldn't handle listening to her talking to people like children and yelling at them. That's fair, Sarah. That's fair.
They're allowed to present evidence, and ultimately, it is a jury of your peers who decides whether or not you are guilty or not, correct?
Correct.
And in this case,
the picking has the judge involved too.
And in this case, they found him guilty not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4, not 5, not 6. I could keep going on, but 34 counts.
But we don't know whether or not it was unanimously. Did they? I didn't actually follow. Donald J. Trump has no peers. No, to be fair, PT, I did a whole video on what it means to be a jury, someone's peers. Yeah, it's so disingenuous. That's what I thought.
Were given. So the opinions of these people who were not juries is not what we do in this country. In this country, we have a system in which jurors decide who is found guilty, and if you have a problem with that, you go to the appellate court, which the last time I checked, he was...
Please. Oh, yes, there's like 10 seconds left. He has to be telling her to shut the fuck up.
raising money so that he could go to the appellate court and appeal his decision, and they will have the final say so. Thank you so much.
Yes, they will. The gentlelady, you'll...
Yes, they will. Oh, all right. They didn't need to be unanimous on the underlying charges, which they could pick from and make the other charges felonies. Yep. Which of itself is some bullshit. Now, thank you very much for sending that one through, Stingy. It is now 1:30 in the morning, people. Now, as you know, Saturday mornings are my day off, so there won't be a stream 10 hours from now. I'll see you all tomorrow morning/night, depending on where you are. But, as always, people, remember, you are not a piece of shit. You have value and do contribute to society. Thank you so much for being here. No, I'm not running ads while I'm ending my show. Bet she gets pissy when McDonald's is out of nuggets. Hey, I do too. Let's go see if she held the same opinion to Rittenhouse. Oh, do I have to do the Rittenhouse thing? All right, we'll look at it really quickly and then I'm getting out of here, all right?
It's back.
Kyle Rittenhouse says he won't vote for Donald Trump, apparently. Kyle Rittenhouse is not voting for Trump. In a video shared to his X account, formerly Twitter, fuck you, Newsweek, Rittenhouse said he would be writing in Ron Paul for President of the United States in the November election. Also, I'll say this, Kyle, mate, as someone who too has a baby face, you need to grow more than just the mustache and the little bit under the chin, okay? Please, for the love of God, grow out the full face, because it's almost as bad as mine. Hi, I'm Kyle Rittenhouse, Outreach Director for Texas Gun Rights. A lot of, I'll play the video in a second, so I'm not going to read that. Hours prior, Rittenhouse shared a photo with Paul. Wait. Is that the guy he's voting for? Burger King forgot my daughter's chicken sandwich last night. Should have seen the hell I raised. I should hope so. Rittenhouse. Okay, so they're going into that. Charged with first-degree murder and homicide. Put on all 5 charges after claiming self-defense. Former President Trump met with Rittenhouse following the acquittal. In an interview with Fox News' Sean Hannity at the time, he said, Kyle, I got to know him a little bit. He called. He wanted to know if he could come over and say hello because he was a fan. Let's just watch the video. Oh, no audio.
Hi, I'm Kyle Rittenhouse, Outreach Director for Texas Gun Rights. A lot of people are upset that I said I'm going to be writing in Ron Paul for President of the United States. And that is true. I will be writing in Ron Paul.
Ron Paul is father of Rand Paul. He can vote for whoever he wants, but Paul isn't winning a damn thing. No, I agree with you on that. He can write in whoever he wants. But, dude, if they're older than Biden, kind of feels like a waste of a vote, but that's
unfortunately Donald Trump had bad advisors making him bad on the Second Amendment, and that is my issue. If you cannot be completely uncompromisable on the Second Amendment, I will not vote for you, and I will write somebody else in. We need champions for the Second Amendment, or our rights will be eaten away and eroded each day. I support my decision, and I have no take-backs.
That's fair, but at the same time, as I said, grow in the whole beard, okay? Just saying. But anyway, alright, back to it. Let me cut the spiel again. As always, people, remember, you're not a piece of shit. You have value and you do contribute to society. Thank you to everyone that sent through memberships. Sorry, AP, we'll try again later. Thank you to everyone that sent super chats. What was that crap about Rittenhouse not voting for Trump? Who paid him? Well, I don't know. Yeah, the facial hair's bad. Just saying. No, he can vote for whoever he wants. That's all good. But anyway, as always, stay healthy, wealthy, and wise, people, and I'll catch you all on the flip side. Hopefully, the credits will have picked up all the memberships and all the super chats and all that sort of stuff. Occasionally, when I go more than an hour or two, it cuts some of them off. But thank you to everyone that sent through anything. But as always, I'll catch you on the flip side. Stay healthy, wealthy, and wise, people.
This shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.